Good evening, everybody. Welcome to America's Third Party Conspiracy Monday edition. Welcome to Iowa and the Iowa caucus. As you can see, there's nobody here. We don't have a caucus. We are a new emerging political party, so I won. I won the nomination, everybody. Thank you. Thank you all for coming. Thank you very much. Yeah, so we have to figure out how we're going to save your fields out here, guys. We have to figure out how we can get GMOs out of your farming solution. Right, because we've heard that there's a lot of lawsuits pending about a couple of genetically modified products out there that are forcing farmers to have to pay extra for their seeds to companies like Monsanto. And I don't want that. And I will task the U.S. Justice Department to look into the possibility of reversing the decision on Monsanto based on the recent Supreme Court ruling that you cannot patent the human genome. Any carbon-based organism should be under that same restriction. So we will go back and we will sue Monsanto, okay, Iowan farmers. And we will also tell you we have something else for you, which none of the two parties have. I guarantee that our recreational legalization of marijuana plan is exactly what you need. It is exactly what this country could benefit from. It could grow virally. Around the country, the economy of legalization is already helping states like Colorado and Washington State and Oregon now. All kinds of states are benefiting, so we are going to see that in the coming years. We have a decision to make. Do we want to have legalized marijuana, which is a growth industry? Or do we want to live in an antiquated world where we are fixated on the old world order of borrowing money and never selling anything, just giving out cash? The old world order being the new world order of credit expansion. Whereas I'm offering growth industries in the legalization area, they're offering just cash for rich people and nothing for you. So we're never going to get anywhere with this model of debt notes. Now, as much as I love currency and I love cash, cash is king in my opinion. We also need a lift, a mixed economy to grow in this nation, and it hasn't under Barack Obama, and it certainly wouldn't under a Democrat, because every Democrat, especially Bernie Sanders, all they do is borrow and tax and spend. And I know it is rigged. The whole borrowing solution here has pushed us to the edge of borrowing, and guess what? The Bank of Japan has actually made an amazing, weird move, which is turning out to be, in the short run, fairly positive for Japan and for the U.S. On Friday, the Bank of Japan implemented negative interest rate policy. That's a very weird event. Negative interest rate policy means the banks pay you to take money. This is the first time, and it's the second central bank to do so. The European Central Bank went to the NIRP, negative interest rate policy, in June of 2014. So these elitists are grasping at straws to try to jumpstart these economies that are already heavily swollen and now reaching the point of implosion where they shrink. So they're trying to prop them up with the weirdest schemes ever in the history of schemes. So I'm not really sure that's going to help in the long run. All right, let's get into the chat and see what you guys have to say. Reading the chat right now. You have good intel on David being a conspiracy? Hardly, dude. I'm the only guy out there who's been running for 7 years without 1 second of mainstream media attention on the issues. If I were a conspiracy or some sort of a shill, I'm not slipping, dude. I'm still great. If I was a shill in any way, I would have been out there. I would have been in front of the news cameras right now. No, and you guys can't accept the fact that an average American has more fortitude, personal fortitude, to fight your attacks, your spams, your trolls, and you just don't get it. You don't realize how strong the principle of freedom is that drives and burns me inside of me. It's just like a power, desire to keep major effort going forward for a third party and to get accountability from these two-party scumbags. Yeah. So you're not looking at just any average American, really. You're looking at a super average American, all right? A person who's almost empowered by his averageness. All right, thank you. We've got the Iowa caucus live coverage coming from the two-party fake political scene. Yeah, we're going to be taking a look at the fake politics on the sidelines as we talk about issues that are affecting you in real time. The two parties are just a scrim that's been put out there.
By those who spoke for each candidate, that the tally is.
Yeah, you're looking at a scrim, a fake scrim, if you will, of almost a bizarre pretense of freedom, the illusion of freedom. That's what you're looking at. All right. David, I'm diagnosed with terminal cancer. I'm scheduled to die June 20th to the 30th. What should I do? Wow, D's nuts. I'm so sorry to hear that. June 20th, and you know for sure you're going to die in that week? That sounds a little suspicious. I don't understand that at all. Hey, don't come in here and support that corporate pig we know as Trump. Thank you. Oink, oink, oink. Yeah. You actually think you're going to get something off of that guy? He exploits labor. That's how he makes money. He borrows money from the Fed. He is the Fed's candidate. He is their joke candidate. They've got both sides covered, though. They got Hillary on their payroll. They got Bernie on their payroll. They've got both sides covered. Unless you American voters believe that you have power to change this two-party system, we're never going to do anything. You got to realize you got to jump out of that two-party system and split the vote this time. There's no other way. Thoughts on the Super Bowl? Well, last year it was rigged. I don't know about this year, but last year it definitely was rigged. That final decision by the coach in Seattle, the Seahawks, made the worst decision the coach did in football history when he said, oh, we're going to go ahead and throw it with only a yard to go and 30 seconds left. They took the ball to the air, which is a football. It's the worst thing you can do. It's football 101 tells you don't do that ever. Yet he did it. Yet he kept his job. He's still working for the Seahawks. I mean, if that isn't rigged, I don't know what is. All right, let's see what we've got here. Mutant fish note. Yes, we've got a lot of deaths going on, folks, around the world. Frankie's on top of a weird anomaly in the Caribbean island area. And we're going to bring you some really bad news tonight, which we got in the pre-show, which I don't want to, bum you out, but it's something to definitely add to your list of concerns. Is it a fish or just a foul mutant sea creature with a nose, feet, tail, and wings baffles the Caribbean island? Whoa. Oh yeah, that's a weird one. The alien fish caught on small Caribbean island has left experts baffled. A creature reportedly has feet which allows it to walk across the seabed, a perfect human nose, and scales like a fish. A perfect human nose. Okay. Nice. I want to go there. Okay, we talked about Japan. Let's see. Oh, this is the story I want to show you. This brought in from Scissor Fight earlier tonight. 337 dead SEI whales are in Chile. This happened in November, and they kept it under the wraps until right now. It's really weird. There's a massive amount of radiation affecting the Pacific Ocean. And this death of the SEI whales, I'm not going to wait around for Fish and Game to say that this is radiation related. And I'm not going to sit around and claim that all the little babies that were born with small heads down in Brazil, the microcephalic children, 732 last year alone, up from 125 the year before. I'm not going to pretend that that's the Zika virus either, because they only found 6 cases of Zika virus in those 732 children and their mothers. So I'm of the belief right now in conspiracy land that this is mostly, all of these strange anomalies are mostly due to the reckless neglect our government has had for Fukushima. Nobody talks about it. Nobody discusses the Fukushima crisis. I'm the only one out there that's been discussing it in the political realm. There's many people on the internet discussing it. I don't have proof of that, Carpet Dog, but I can tell you that the 14,000 sea lions have shown up on the shores of the intertidal areas of Oregon, Washington, British Columbia in the past year. And if they're going to irradiate the world and they're going to create a Fukushima disaster and then they willfully ignore cleaning it up, And they continue to talk about things like the Zika virus and how they're going to vaccinate against it. I mean, this is an incredible ruse for what really is going on. Worldwide contamination of our environment by the most unbelievably screwed up people out there who veritably are essentially planning what I'm going to call, for lack of a better word, planned depopulation. So their goal is to depopulate, and they'll do everything they can to make that happen. Planned depopulation. Let me go white on that. Yeah, and we've all heard people, elitists, talk about it, how they want to get rid of 95% of the population. David Rockefeller talks about it. Yeah. Ted Turner talks about it. Why do you hate me exactly? Give me a reason, guest 188. I just articulate yourself. Why do you hate me? What have I done to you? Whales are beaching themselves dead in Germany en masse as well. Giraffe Brain has another story about whales dying. Well, this isn't a vivid imagination. I'm telling you what's happening. I mean, this is as close to the real news you'll ever get. The Gentle Giant's graveyard North Sea whale death toll rises to 23 as another 8 are washed up on German coasts after mass beachings across Europe. Do you need the handwriting on the wall for you to realize that we're screwing the environment under the two-party system? And this news, the national debt has hit 19 trillion. Just when we thought it was going to end at 18 trillion and they were going to have some sort of an extension, the federal debt has hit 19 trillion regardless. They don't even bother extending it anymore. They just go, oh, well, Obama doesn't know what he's doing, so. No, I'm not gay. I told you that. Many of you are really confused. I think you've got what is called dysfunctional gaydar. There is no plan of action ever talked about. That's right. Well, I'm talking about a plan of action. We've got a solution to Fukushima. Let's talk about that tonight. We'll deal with the federal debt on Wednesday with our Wasteful Wednesday story. But tonight we should really discuss how we're going to cap these big, huge, open, gaping sores in the earth. Okay? Don't you think we should try to solve the problem instead of just talk about it? I know I would like to do that. I wrote a letter to the director of the IAEA and tried to get some accountability on Fukushima and suggested that we deal with the crisis by capping the bay with a USS Forrestal aircraft carrier parked right there at the point of entry in the Fukushima Bay area that would keep that water from, getting into the Pacific Ocean rapidly. That's just one of our ideas. But the bigger idea is to cap it with a new product that I believe could very well fix all problems related to the Earth, oozing gas and oozing radiation out. The real problem is the facility at Fukushima is still in terrible disrepair. This is a picture of it then and now. It hasn't changed. TEPCO can't do anything with this facility. They can't even get near it. I have not heard about the 5 Hong Kong citizens in Hong Kong, Thailand, forcing them into the mainland. This is a provocative move. But again, Chinese government has total political control over the Hong Kong region, so I'm not sure exactly what you're saying. Hong Kong became a part of national Chinese government and under their oversight a few years back. Yeah. Well, we're not going to do that because we really believe you need to wake up here and stop using bad words in the room. And please don't use the swastika next to my name. I'm not a Nazi, and this is not some sort of make-believe right-wing, left-wing thing. This is a centrist party in the formative stage. We're not in any way part of a right-wing conspiracy, so please, don't even go there. Yeah, you're completely off the map, off the grid. We've got another little leak going on up in, or down in Los Angeles. It's the Porter Ranch natural gas leak, which incidentally is methane, and it is also radioactive. There was a nuclear landfill right near where the gas leak has popped up. And do you hear Barack Obama or Hillary Clinton or Donald Trump or even Bernie doesn't even talk about these disasters? So you've got a situation on your hands, folks, where government refuses to look at any of these crises and address them like I'm doing right now in real time. There is a video coming up, but I'm not there to bring you the video. We're here to talk about weird things that go bump in the night. Tonight was a big reveal of my song, which I created in 2 seconds. So we need to stop planned depopulation. That's one thing. We need to cap these problems. So I came up with a concept last week to cap the deadly blast of methane out of these locations. Radiation kills land, yeah. So basically, we could say by the lack of interest of our government that they are literally, purposely not fixing these problems. They're just letting them go on and on and on. And I want to legalize marijuana, so I kind of stand against the two-party system. Nobody in the Republican Party wants to legalize recreational. All marijuana should be legal. No one wants to solve that crisis. I do. They talk about it, but they want to all profit from it. Those Republicans are all about money. You know that. So that makes me different than the other guys. Green-eyed lady, ocean lady. That's right. You got a lot of guys romancing you on the net, Green-eyed lady. Golden Bear says Beijing security forces appear to have seized Hong Kong citizens crossing a line between China and the autonomous city-state. Well, the principle of one country, two systems was always in peril when Hong Kong became a part of mainland China. What about that do you not understand? Yeah. Where were you when that happened? Yeah, it was like, 10 years ago. It happened under George Bush. Thank you. We need more people like me. I agree. Thanks a lot, Guest 578. Yeah. Things are getting a little confusing. David, I'm worried as many future predictors said Obama's the last president. No. Not on my watch. No. My projections are different. I have a premonition that I will be president, and this nation will have some major problems, and I'm going to be the one to fix them. That's my best assessment of the future. That's my premonition I had when I was a little kid. And I won't say how little because it's embarrassing. But when you get a premonition like that, you've had premonitions all your life. I had a premonition 2 weeks before John Lennon died that he would be dead. I walked around telling people that I had a weird dream 2 weeks before he died, saying, I can't believe I had this weird dream. I was telling everybody that, can you believe John Lennon died? And that was the dream. And then 2 weeks later, he died. So, I mean, premonitions are something you may want to look at. It's especially possible if your brain is free and unfettered. You can actually experience creative thinking beyond your wildest imagination. Instant karma. Yeah, a lot of people had premonitions about John Lennon dying. I wasn't the only one. All right, let's talk about the future then in a way that we don't eliminate the possibility of a 45th president, okay? So that I wouldn't be doing this if I believed that Obama would be the last person to be president of the United States. He may be the last person to be president of the United States, but not of the United States of America. Because I believe that we're looking at a major shift coming up where we will actually have to separate from the powers that be that have the Federal Reserve in control of our nation as a central bank. I believe we're getting close to the plan to open up an infrastructure bank and get sovereignty again from the corporate leaders that are running our country. You didn't know that our country was a corporatocracy, right? You have 10 refreshes? Okay, well, if you still haven't had video since then, I'm going to go ahead and stop any motion here if you're getting lag. Yeah, out of the infrastructure fund, we will be able to build growth opportunities for American citizens. Now, one of my big ideas is a 2% loan to U.S. citizens running U.S. businesses, and they will only be able to hire U.S. citizens at a living wage. News on Colorado? No, don't have any right now. You're talking about the Iowa caucuses? Well, this is a long-term problem. that is not being addressed by the two-party system. But we need to cap both of these facilities with a large amount of dirt at the very least. Yes. And we have a plan to do that I'll be discussing later tonight. But what we're really talking about is the corporate control of our nation. Now, the United States is a corporation. You can look it up. It's a different legal entity than the United States of America. I'm not making this up. This is all true. In 1871, the Act of 1871 gave the United States government in Washington, D.C. control over the remainder of the nation. They're only literally allowed to control the Commonwealth of Washington, D.C., which is not a state. But they control the rest of the country using this corporate model. After 1871, and this is all after the Civil War, all these cronies got in their little fingers into our government. They systematically turned our great nation, the United States of America, into a corporate entity, borrowing from it to the tune of $19 trillion now. A record. Well, let's be clear. I'm going to show you the record set today. Obama hasn't done anything but add to the 19 trillion. He's overspent by 1 trillion a year. Now, when I started this show tonight, I said, if the liberals are so concerned about overpopulation, why are they allowing more illegal immigrants into our country? If they're so concerned about global warming and cap and trade legislation, why are they allowing big corporations to pollute the hell out of the skies above us? You got to wonder what the real motivation of the Democrats is, and I happen to know what it is. I know exactly what's motivating the Democrats, Republicans. Do you want to know? You know that I'm 2 years older than Barack Obama. You got that, right? Everyone know that? Yeah, he's living a pretty hard life. It's not easy being a two-faced hypocrite puppet president. He's probably taking a lot more stress than he needs because of that insane lust for money that he has. I think he and Michelle have been on the take from the very beginning. I believe that their primary goal is financial. It's cash. Somewhere, if you look at underneath the scrim of his presidency, you'd probably find a large Cayman Island account. And I say Cayman Island account because you'll notice that money is the real motivator here. That was what I was going to answer with money. I'm a bit uglier. Okay. Thanks for the compliment. Appreciate it. So that's what's driving American politics, in case you didn't know. And that's why we have a $19 trillion debt, because these people in the two-party system do whatever they can to get elected. They'll suck up to the cronies that get them elected, and then consequently, we go $19 trillion in debt. It's that simple. Okay, so we'll be talking about the control money has over politics now. And we're in the room now with Sarah. She's here. Okay, cool. So my goal is to stop this planned depopulation. That's at the very heart of Conspiracy Monday, because every conspiracy theory has the ultimate belief that they're trying to kill off the population. Now, you can believe these theories or not, whether you believe in chemtrails or not, whether you believe in the dangers of GMOs or not. But we have a belief that if there is an actual real shred of truth to any of those things that I just said, we're screwed. We are without a third party to get accountability from these two parties, and to stop that, we're screwed. We have to solve this problem of building a third party, folks. It's essential. And it's not going to happen in Iowa. We're out, I pretended like I was out in a cornfield here talking about improving the Iowa farmland, but honestly, we couldn't even make the trip to Iowa. We didn't get enough funding or donations to do that. But we have a very strong model for American economy to grow, and that's hybrid capitalism. And with a good idea and a lot of effort online.
Which you can buy at AmericasThirdParty.com/store. Or at least that will give you the link to buying it. Yeah.
Somebody said I'm going to spear myself with this marijuana leaf here. I just want you all to know that I am legalization, pro-legalization all the way.
Yeah. Do you want to take a break?
Yeah, I'll take a break. Thank you.
Okay. I'm gonna what's the word? I'm going to take your marijuana leaf and just hide it for a moment. Because it's not that I'm not in favor of legalization. I am in favor of legalization. However, I don't smoke, and I won't smoke even when it's legalized. That's just the kind of hairpin I am. I don't believe I need to do that. Be awesome like I am. She's awesome. I met all my friends online. No, I'm just kidding. Well, maybe someday, 3, 4, 5. If you actually campaign for him, then you could see his name on the ballot. No, I don't know about that Led Zeppelin rules. I am pretty amazing, it's true. Exactly. We would rather see nukes detonated than become slaves, except many Americans are slaves to the almighty dollar. You know, there's so much they do just for money. Go ahead and ask the questions, Elfire. Yeah, okay. Oh, so you're not willing to go out and actually campaign and work for it? All right. Oh, you're thinking of shipping out? That sometimes makes sense, but I would just caution you, 43463, have you been anywhere else? Because I've noticed that wherever you go, there's people are similar pretty much everywhere you go. Thank you, Golden Bear. I think that's a compliment. Not yet, Zelfire. No, unless you campaign. We need to collect a certain number of signatures to get David on the ballot, and so no, his name won't be on the card. Not at this time. So once we get the certain number of signatures to get him on the ballot, then it would be placed on the general election ballot. What will happen after November? It all depends on who wins the election. Yep, exactly. Almost funny. So Cellfire, it's varies state by state. I can get you well, you can still write his name in, even if his name is not on the ballot. You can write his name in onto the ballot. Good night, Sunstar. And then the other thing is you can actually petition to get his name placed on the ballot as well. Wow, interesting duct tape. Whoa. Wow, Golden Bear, wow. I don't see that happening, 766. Thanks, Scissor Fight. Thanks, Antique. All right, thank you. That would be good. All right, let me just pull up some information. Where are you? You're in Kentucky? All right, just one moment. I'm going to pull up. I'll pull up some information for you for Kentucky. What? I don't know what you're talking about, 345. Are you talking about yourself? I think you must be. So the Secretary of State in Kentucky is, the phone number is here. I was trying to give you the benefit of the doubt, but I'll just do that instead. Okay, I'll work on that. So $5,000 signatures we need. In Kentucky. We have to pay a filing fee of $500. So we need 5,000 signatures in Kentucky. That's the and if you contact that phone number I gave you, the Secretary of State, then they will they can give you the information. Allison Lundergan Grimes is a chair, and she can give you the information for the petitions. So I'll give you a link to that. Thank you. All right. There you go. So if you go there and then maybe, let's see, you contact them, they can give you the actual petition you need to start. They can give you the petition you need to start getting the 5,000 people to sign up. So that would be really good. I would appreciate it to get as many as you can. Yep, that would be great. You want me to be against the machines? I believe in building machines to help people. Okay. And we have to get those before the first Tuesday in September. So all that would be good. Much appreciated, Zellfire. Thank you. Yes, thank you, Scissor Fight. No, I'm just kidding, 766. I don't know how to build a machine. So I'm not building a machine because I don't know how. Where's the chat window? The streamer stopped streaming. Well, does he have an actual chat window? Yeah, 413, I'm paying attention. Well, David believes he can do a better job. Oh, sign into chat. I gotta figure out how that works. All right. Oh, goodness. All right. I got it. ha ha. Piranha, that's pretty funny. No. No, I did not have a stroke on my right side.
Okay.
Okay.
All right.
People says, in here there's a chat. I didn't realize that.
Oh, okay.
I don't know. I've got to figure out how to get that chat going in our place anyway.
Okay.
But,
I'll look fun for it.
okay, whatever.
Yeah.
But anyway, I'm going to write in here.
Hey, thank you. I'm glad I won my, hang on just a second.
Okay.
I'm glad I won the caucus. We won the Iowa caucus, everybody, in our party. Congratulations. There was a vote of 2, and we both voted for me running for president and Sarah running for vice president. Thank you. It's a lot less extensive than the Democrats, Republicans. You know, this whole thing is strange the way the media has been spinning it. They don't talk about how Donald Trump spent his entire time reading the speeches of Adolf Hitler next to his bed when he was married to Ivana Trump. That came up in the divorce hearings. Last week we talked about that. The divorce hearings, back when he divorced Ivana, she had said that he read the speeches of Adolf Hitler before he went to bed every night. He had a bed right next to his bed. He had the speeches. So we got to get these ideas out there so the people can hear them. The people that are deciding right now who to vote for in Iowa need to know that. They need to know that Ted Cruz did an amazingly weird speech back when he was in his early or late teens. He said he wanted to dominate the whole world. He wanted total world domination. We have that. No, there were no votes in Iowa. They're coming in right now. We got people writing my name in right now in Iowa. I'm not kidding. Lots of them are writing in the Republican primary. They're writing my name in.
It's a caucus, so they don't always write. I mean, the Republicans do write, but the Democrats don't. They go and stand in each other's corners.
They do.
There was a giant made by men.
I've got to skip this.
Yeah, it skips it right there. Okay, got it. All right. No, I meant Sarah and I nominated us. We are a very defined group right now, and we're running a third-party plan to change the country. Before you go there, I want to bring in something.
Robert DiMaffrio joining us from fascinating insight into what we can actually.
Okay, I want to get our name in there, and I want to since it's pretty important to get our name out there.
Yeah,
I think.
Definitely get your name out there.
Thank you. All right. So yeah, the whole thing is controlled, and one of the Google reports I said, they said that Ted Cruz. Somebody screamed out, "Ted Cruz looks weird," and that reached the top of the Google News. That Ted Cruz looks weird. I mean, I don't care if he looks weird. Let's talk about the failed policies that he's pushing. This idea that he's gotten money from his wife, who works at Goldman Sachs, corrupts his entire campaign. It's pretty obvious that this guy is not going to be able to disassemble the Fed. He's basically a complete owned guy, an owned puppet of the Fed, Ted Cruz. And he looks like Grandpa from the Munsters, I know. Yeah, we've got a picture of Ted. Let me show you the people that are at the Iowa caucus. These are the people that are active in politics in Iowa. It's probably kind of a joke in some areas because, a lot of these are families of people that have been active in politics in Iowa for a long time that are in these caucuses. This is what you're missing. Okay, Clinton has 51, Sanders has 49 as of now. Thanks for that, 717. This is their caucus event. Somebody said Bernie Sanders is a communist. I agree. I'm going to mute it. There's nothing going on there. Go ahead. Okay, so Dave, you can take on the Fed. Can you take on Oak Harbor City Council? I wouldn't even bother going into Oak Harbor City Council. The meetings that I've gone to are like pandemonium. I wouldn't be dealing with small-minded corruption when dealing with the Fed. I'm dealing with big, huge corrupt forces, which is a little bit different. We don't read the minutes at meetings where we talk to you directly. So we're not spending our time like a city council meeting would be talking to you. If I were to do this as if it was a city council meeting, we would do the show. I would say, well, Sarah, thank you for coming in. I'd like to read the minutes from last week's session. And I would read for about 15 minutes and everyone would be bored out of their mind. And then I would say, we're now going to nominate a new advisor to the committee to investigate the Committee on Investigating Advisors. So please, who nominates the next advisor to the committee to investigate committees to elect it? I mean, it's a complete joke. So no, we have to get deep into the Federal Reserve's problem. We need a two-party coalition, a third party, if you will, that will actually address the Federal Reserve issue wholeheartedly and deal with the problem of their incredible credit debt that they've acquired and how they continue to unleash endless loans to big Wall Street executives like Donald Trump and nothing to the American people. This is an interactive show, much different than some old stiff party caucus, okay? Now, there's not a real meeting going on in our local government. It's a disaster. You know what they're talking about? Thank you, Sarah. By the way, there's stew on the stove.
Thank you.
Warming. We made another stew tonight. Thank you. No, the tallies haven't come in, so don't even go there. I've got a lot of people writing my name in the caucuses. There are people ready to leave their party everywhere in this country. It's that bad. They're ready to leave. They're ready to get away from their old world, corrupt world activities. Yeah, I took a thing called mock tenders, and I throw them in they're pretty low cost cut of beef. Not sure where that noise is coming from. There it is. Okay, we're going to get out of that one real quick. And I put them with carrots and onions and potatoes, and then I slow cook it. You can do this in a crock pot. It's really good. No, it's better than that. It's actually a high protein, and it's really a low cost way of cooking. Throw green beans in there, and you can make a full meal with all your major food groups. Yeah. I don't know. It looks like they shot a bird in a gym. Yeah. No, I don't believe my name's on those restroom walls. Thanks. Yeah, a lot of you just don't understand that you can't walk around talking to people like they're trash, unless you want to stay in your room with your mom going, "Honey, are you okay?" the rest of your life. You'll never have any friends. No one will ever like you. Because you've picked up these terrible traits of running your mouth off and trolling people on the internet. You're not developing any social skills. You're not being nice to people. You're not showing respect for others. Well, I was born this way. I had the mind of a college student when I was 6 years old. So ever since then, I've been learning things that I didn't really need to know at the time, but it makes me a lot more intelligent today. Yeah, there's no evidence of anything like that, man. Like I said, you won't have any friends soon. Your mom will go, "Honey, are you okay?" And pretty soon she won't even care. Oh, that's just him. He's sitting in his room. He's probably going to, do some horrible things someday. What are we going to do about him, honey? I don't know. He's just this nutcase. He's probably a whack job. So you'll be known as the whack job in the family if you keep that up. Okay? I don't think you're a statistician, so I don't think you can assess who our viewers are at this point. That's not true. I'm getting a lot more in Iowa than you think. I'm getting feedback right now from the room. I'd love to talk about all the loves of my life, except there's only one, and that's Sarah. So I used to be involved with women. I mean, one of the weirdest relationships I had was with an African American. Actually, she was Jamaican American. And she refused to say that we were dating. And that was a weird moment because she came from a very Southern Baptist life, and I didn't. And a lot of Christians don't even view Catholics as Christian. And I told her I was Catholic at one point in my life. I've since then become non-religious. But when you see that kind of a contradiction, where Christians turn to Catholic and say, you're not Christian, it immediately tricked into a weird relationship. And it was a roller coaster, 5 weeks of knowing that woman. Yeah, but I've had a lot of relationships. I think the longest relationship I had prior to Sarah was 6 months. It wasn't like a real long relationship, but Sarah and I have been together for about 17 years. It's amazing. I wasn't stalking her, no. No, Connie doesn't really have the foreign relations experience. She travels a lot, but she doesn't really engage with political officials from other countries. That's a violation of the Logan Act, by the way. If she were to engage in politics with other countries. So maybe you should read law. And then before you come in the chat room, verse yourself on international law before you make a fool of yourself saying things like that. Chatter, whoever you are. Yeah, she is Sarah's an amazing woman. She's by far the best person I could have ever found. And I would never have found her had she not been on the internet. I don't think I could have found a woman as wonderful as her had I not had the ability to reach out and meet a lot of women on the internet. I have no ties to the UN at all. In fact, I'm trying to cut any relations whatsoever with anybody who has ties to the UN. Are you tied to the UN at all? I'm no longer going to talk to you anymore. Yeah, I'm not real happy with the UN. The UN is pushing Agenda 21. The UN is embedded in our U.S. Army documents. Have you guys read the Civil Detention Army Manifesto on civilian detention? Yeah, I thought that was in the briefing before we got here. You haven't read the U.S. Army, how they've integrated the UN into the civilian detention and internment policy? Well, let me be the first to bring you the link to the internment and resettlement operations which will be conducted in your area. Yeah, here's a link to an actual PDF document. If you'd like to read it, would you like me to read it for you? Yeah, civilian detention is something that they've been planning since 2010, integrated with the UN under the auspices of martial law. You okay?
Yeah.
So instead of talking about the Iowa caucus, I'd rather talk about the plan to do internment and resettlement operations tonight. It's a little bit more relevant to your life. The Department of Defense has been working diligently to create a solution to detain you in the event martial law is declared. Where would you like to find out about how the setup is going to be developed, how these encampments and concentration camps are going to be constructed? Would you like to find out more about the leaders who would be controlling your very destiny? Well, just read through the document. It tells you all the things you need to know. This is the kind of garbage our government's involved in. Producing garbage like this. This is hundreds of pages, 326 pages of crap. Unnecessary garbage. Yeah. So yeah, I'm not real happy with the UN. I'm not real happy with U.S. Army integrating the UN in this plan. Obama is not a good president. He's actually been the worst possible president we could have ever had. He's actually weakened our government relative to other nations and pushed us closer to the brink of war in the Middle East. Anyone who thinks that he's a good president is brain dead. I don't think Obama's going to be practicing law because he gave up his legal license to practice law many, many years ago. In fact, Obama's on record being the only person in U.S. history to rescind his law license before it was taken away from him. Yeah, he actually stopped it from actually. He took it away before they actually took it from him in a court case. You didn't know about this? You've been left in the dark, haven't you? You're one of the many people in America who never gets the truth about Obama, right? Yeah, we are close to the brink of war in Syria. You didn't know that? Again, I'm talking to a Democrat here, 932, who doesn't realize that we are right at the edge of war with Syria and with Russia. Wow. Green-eyed girl agrees. Yeah, so we've got a lot of things to talk about. Where should we begin? I don't want to listen to this puppet. Let's just listen in, though.
Of voters, and that makes these first-time caucus goers potentially holding the cards that determine the race one way or the other.
I'd love to tell you sane news, but unfortunately you got regular television for that. I'm here to give you the alternative views that are not being talked about in the mainstream media. Well, Obama didn't really have a license to practice law after he was in a court proceedings in Illinois that they were going to take his legal right to practice law away from him, and he just rescinded his legal ability in that state. It's strange to know that it's unlikely that, and by the way, he never taught as a professor of law. That was a lie. Yeah, he lost his law license many years ago. And Michelle, or as I lovingly like to call him, Michael can't practice law either. He's had his law license taken away. You didn't know this? Did you know that Sasha and Malia are their adopted children? You didn't know that either? Well, just ask anyone or look on the internet for a birth certificate for Sasha or Malia, and they don't have one. In fact, try to find a picture of a pregnant Michael. Michael never was pregnant with Sasha or Malia. Men can't carry children, in case you didn't know that. No, Obama never taught as a professor. He actually filled in a day for somebody. No, Obama never taught as a professor. That's okay. Well, he was in the process of going to lose his law license, and he rescinded it before it actually could go to the next level. He avoided a court case where it would have been taken away. Obama allowed you to retire early like you did? Well, guy with no job, if you're part of the nanny state, you better find a new nanny, because the nanny that you currently have, Uncle Sam, he's not a nanny, and he's a dude, and he's not happy with you. Yeah, you're not going to be able to get more freebies from the government and retire early. You are, however, going to get a consolidation of our pension plans. I have a comprehensive pension realignment plan in mind, so that everyone will get the same pension plan when they retire from a government job. I talked to a firefighter the other day about that. He was pretty interested. Not full of crap at all, no. Had a good bowel movement, thank you. You know, I'd love to reference the Illinois court case, but right now let's just go ahead and do a standard conspiracy search for Obama lost law license in Illinois. We'll see what that brings up. Okay, I'll do the fingers through the walking and whatever. I won the caucus here in Iowa. There was only 2 people involved, but we decided unanimously that I'm going to be running for president under America's Third Party's banner, and Sarah's going to be running for vice president. So our caucus was pretty simple. I'd like to say we had a small caucus, but that would be derogatory. Okay, here's the real reason Barack and Obama and Michelle lost their law license. I knew you'd want to know, so I'll give you a link. There's the link right there. Thank you, green-eyed girl. Let's see what this guy has to say while I give you the skinny here.
If he's able to pull off the double-double and get Iowa, then that sends a message across the...
You're going to do a double-double. Wow, what about a double-double-double? Thank you, I won. It's pretty cool. It's great I feel like a winner. You know, I don't really have a good memory of my college years, other than to say that it was a disaster. I was sitting in class with my Western technology science professor, actually Western technological history professor, and he put everyone to sleep. He was reading out of a book. I do remember that. And he was literally reading out of a book for 3 hours for the whole lecture, and everyone was going, "Are you seriously going to sit through this?" And I was like, well, I mean, what else do you do, you know? I don't have a degree, thank God. I didn't finish wasting my time at UCLA. What a disaster that would have been. Okay, former lawyers. I knew they had both had their law license, but I didn't know why until I read this. This is 100% legit. Okay, let me read it for you. I'll blow it up so you can read it. I knew you'd want to ask. You always want to know the details. I don't blame you. Okay. It is official arm of a lawyer discipline in Illinois, and they were strict. Even at the advanced age of 65, maintain my law. Okay. Former law lecturer, president makes up constitutional quotes through President Obama, former editor of the Harvard Law Review, is no longer a lawyer. He surrendered his license back in 2008. In order to escape charges, he lied on his bar application. A voluntary surrender is not something where you decide, gee, a license is not really something I need anymore, is it? And forgot to renew your license. No, a voluntary surrender is something you do when you've been accused of something and voluntarily surrender your license 5 seconds before the state suspends you. Okay, does that answer your question? And number 2, Michelle Obama voluntarily surrendered her law license in 1993 after a federal judge gave her the choice between surrendering her license or standing trial for insurance fraud. All right, I think that pretty much covers it. It just amazes me how you Democrats have been kept in the dark for so long. Yeah, so they'd avoid jail. I know, DT Laura. So yeah, check that reference out. It's very good, yeah, I'm sorry, what? Okay. You got Betty Davis eyes. Wow. Thank you. No one has ever said that to me. Yeah. Are you Blondie by any chance? I mean, I know Blondie's, nearly 70 now or something. Yeah, then he became president. Yeah, they're total idiots, these people that are in the room right now. They still don't even know how corrupt he is. David, I've been convinced for a long time you work for the bad side. No, that's not true. I work for the good side. I'm one of the few people in America who's actually been able to sustain an unbelievable onslaught of hate, trolls, attacks, personal, and I've even been swatted. And we've continued to fight for what we believe is the Americans' right to build this third party. Yeah. No, I'm a tested genius. I would never be categorized as an idiot. An idiot has an IQ below 130, I believe 30 points. If you're 0 to 30, you're an idiot. If you're 31 to 45, you're an imbecile. And if you're 46 to 70, you're a moron. Okay? Above 70 is approaching normal. You need to get those numbers right. All right? You've got a lot of problems. Many of you are secretly bi-curious and are secretly attracted to me, which I find really pathetic because you guys need to find a woman. Now, if you're in the state of New Jersey or California, ignore what I just said. I don't want you to any way become different than what you already are, because it's illegal for me to convince you to become a heterosexual if you are a flamer. All right? In those 2 states. Amanda's Dave curious. There you go. No, I'm afraid not, dude. You need to find a real woman. Not a guy you're secretly attracted to. Yeah, it really is sad the way it doesn't surprise me the way a lot of you have become Here's some breakdown on the polls.
So the thing that I find really interesting, if you look at the number of people with high school education or less, those are actually, when you look at the people in the exit polls tonight, are the huge Trump and Cruz supporters. And those who have some college or more, those are the huge Marco Rubio supporters.
Mm-hmm.
So
there you go. So the college voters are going to vote for Marco Rubio because they like kiss-ass glad-handers. The uneducated ones are going to vote for the guy who wants to be Hitler. Yeah, who reads the speeches of Adolf Hitler next to his bed. Yep. Yeah, Rubio's a total glad-handing dunce. It's pathetic. Many people think he's a robot. Apparently, a lot of you are breaking out of your heterosexual clothes into some gay role on the show here. You need to go back to your heterosexual lives and stop fantasizing about me. I'm a heterosexual, dude. And I'm trying to realign your gaydar. A lot of you have real screwed up gaydar. And Amanda is gay for me. Look at that. A woman gay for me. Interesting. All right, so this has turned into a real disturbing, nonsensical discussion when I really wanted to talk about how the government is being controlled by moneyed interests like the Rothschilds. And it's very difficult for me to do that when I get sidetracked having to prove that Barack Obama lied about everything, including his law degrees. So I think we need to get back on track and talk about David Rockefeller and how he wants to control the world. Okay? And how the Rothschild family has controlled the world for years. They work in tandem with the Rockefellers. They recently bought up water rights in California. The Rockefeller-Rothschild partnership. The Sonoma County water rights are being purchased by these people. Do you have any idea why they'd want to buy water rights in California? Any clue? Our country is ruled by the Rome. Yeah, I know. The mafia, you're saying. Oh, yeah. Yeah. Why would they want to run water? Why would Ted Turner want to control Midwest water rights? Because water is tasty? Because they're greedy. They are the greediest people on earth. And they want more because they don't know the difference between more and less. They don't care. They want more. They just keep wanting more. It's a sickness. Greed, when it's gotten to this level, is a psychological impairment. Bill Gates wants eugenics. Greed. They want control. They want control over the destiny of the world. Ted Turner wants control. He wants water rights.
I'm going to talk today about energy and climate. And that might seem a bit surprising because my full-time work at the foundation is mostly about vaccines and seeds, about the things that we need to invent and deliver to help the poorest 2 billion live better lives. We need to meet a new constraint.
Now, what he's talking about is global depopulation. And David Rockefeller has the same plan.
Raise the specter of an alarming and possibly catastrophic disaster to the biosphere we live in. And herein lies the dilemma that we all face.
No, we don't all face it. He faces it. His dilemma is, how are they going to make more money? How are they going to make more money, exploit the land more and more when people keep eating? When the useless eaters keep eating and farting and defecating and burping, how are these people going to get more and more money? I knew somebody would pop up and say we need depopulation. There you go. See, we've got so many brain dead people in the room that I've got one right now from Britain. Son of British. He really buys the garbage that we have to depopulate. The reason why they want to depopulate and why they say CO2 is causing temperature increases is because they don't want to in any way filter the air. They don't want to filter the water. These are the people that profited from exploiting the earth, industrial giants that literally killing off the planet. They don't want to clean it up. It's easier for them to kill you because you're the useless eaters, you see? So they feed you GMO food. They fluoridate your water. So you're basically like a farm animal moping around going, I don't know what to do. I don't know. look at this guy online. He looks like a fag. And you're completely brain dead. And that's the way they want you. Yeah. Trump doesn't have any clue as to what GMOs are. That's above his pay grade. He doesn't even understand what they're doing. Trump doesn't understand how corrupt the world is because he's part of the corruption. He's their puppet. I have a direct line to your brains. Do not contest. Actually, no, you guys are welcome to be critical thinkers and, evaluate everything I'm saying and check it against a barometer of truth. But when you realize that they never even talk about these things in the mainstream media, I have no competition. Overpopulation will allow advanced civilization. Let me ask you, why would a civilization want to extinguish itself if it was so advanced? You'd think an advanced civilization would want to promote the increase in their population. Logic tells you that. You think the little ants that struggle to eat sugar in your countertops want to all be exterminated? Do you think they've got a big, huge sign saying, "Up with Dow Chemicals, support pesticides, we want to be exterminated"? Yeah. So we see this rampant belief of depopulation being forced upon the American people because these rich people, they don't want you around. They want you dead. They want you sterilized. They will do whatever it takes to kill off the population. They want 90% of the population gone by the year 2026. And Trump is part of the elite. Trump doesn't even know what I'm talking about. He is a puppet for the New World Order. He is reading out of a script that they wrote for Hitler. In fact, they gave him speeches of Hitler to read, and that came up in the lawsuit with Ivana. She said that Trump had a list of speeches from Adolf Hitler that he would read from every night before he went to bed. Yeah. Yes, we've got a lot of people voting for me in the caucuses, but they're being shunned by all the Republicans. One guy said, "Hey, what about this David Sponheim guy? I mean, shut up! Shut up! Get this guy another drink! Shut him up!" Yeah. "Hey, what about that third party? Oh my God, we've got a defector! Kill that defector!" Yeah, I mean, seriously. It's like insects. They don't even have a brain in these caucuses. They're just going, bah, and the other ones are going, moo. So you got the cattle versus the sheep in the two-party system right now. The cattle being, of course, the Republicans, who are a bunch of well, I got to get out there and get the vote going for dead trees. I mean, that mentality. And then you've got the birdie people. Birdie. Yeah, we're in trouble. Thank you. Thanks for coming into our interactive show, which none of them have, by the way. Not one of them has an interactive, transparent show like we have every day. Thank you. Yeah, so I didn't inherit, other than this modular home, I didn't inherit a fortune from my dad like Donald Trump did. I basically took care of my family till their dying day. And out of that, my reward was a modular home in paradise. But it's not a big deal. It's not like, I'm not cashing in on it. I like living in a nice place, but to some people, this would be like, you living in a trailer, man. It's a nice modular home, but it's not quite like a stick frame, but it's decent. I wasn't born with a silver spoon in my mouth like Trump. He never really had to work to fight for what he has. He basically just got credit card debt everywhere. Whenever a bankruptcy happened, he just took out a credit deal with the Fed, and he moved on. He's never really faced the music. People like that never do. They just sell out. All right, so you keep saying that they wanted to depopulate, but you're white, they would want to depopulate. Yeah, well, do you see me having any kids? I bought the line that you can't afford to have a child in this society. I actually bought that line. Hook, line, and sinker. They told everybody in America in the 1990s that a child would cost around $300,000 per child. The sale of condoms went through the roof. Yep. People started buying condoms left and right. They didn't want to have $300,000 kids. The cost of health care has become almost oppressive, And if your kid comes down with an abnormality like a shrunken head, microcephalic children are being born in our state all over the place. I feel bad for women. But the bottom line is, I wouldn't want to be burdened with that healthcare costs. You know what a microcephalic child's going to cost you in the end? Everything. Your entire life savings, your future income, gone. Courtesy of the microcephalic child that was born to you because you live on the West Coast exposed to radiation. I mean, seriously. So yeah, I bought into that. When I realized that I could easily have 15 children if they ate rice and beans, and my wife was Consuela. Hola, Consuela, uno momento, por favor. Just give them more of the corn tortillas. The GMO corn tortillas is okay. Go ahead. No more Pampers. Rinse out the disposable ones and use them again. Dry them in the sun. You know, there's a lot of ways of raising children. But I didn't want that. So yeah, a lot of white people aren't having children. It's true. But I'm really up against this tremendous attempt to poison the population by the elitists. That's when I talked about stopping depopulation. That's right. Fluoridation calcifies the pineal gland, prevents you from having intelligence. The Harvard Medical Review did a detailed study showing that it did cause an enormous amount of intelligence loss. 7% up to 15 to 20% intelligence loss. So are you guys in the chat room at YouTube? I just posted Sponheim 2016, yeah. Scissor Fight's in there too, right on. Cool. ATP for the win. All right, cool. Thanks, Scissor Fight. No, unfortunately, we don't need another Hitler for president. And a lot of you people who keep thinking that Trump's going to win because he read all the speeches Adolf Hitler had, you're Nazis. We don't want Nazis controlling the future of this great nation. You're a bunch of Nazis. You understand? You and all your Trump supporters are Nazis. Thank you. Yeah, well, believe me, Piranha, it's better just to give up like you did, later. Yeah, just give up. You're not even taking any risks. Look at you. You're pathetic. God, what an idiot. All right, so we have another link from BBC. I can just grab it. Scientists are getting gene editing. Go ahead. They're going to start editing genes. Yeah. Hocus pocus, everybody. Bread and circuses keep the people stimulated so they'll think something's going on. While they continue to cause irreparable tumors in bodies around the country with GMOs, they're now thinking they're going to re-edit the gene. Have you ever heard of people playing God? Isn't that interesting? Yeah, people are playing God right now. That's not true. Statistically, if I get 1%, you have to record that. And since you're not polling the people at the caucuses, you don't have an accurate reading. So yeah, they're going to give the go-ahead for editing the human genome. UK scientists have been given the go-ahead by the fertility regulator to genetically modify human embryos. It is the first time a country has considered the DNA altering technique in embryos and has approved it. The research will take place at the Francis Crick Institute in London and aims to provide a deeper understanding of the earliest moments of human life. It will be illegal for the scientists to implant the modified embryos into a woman, though. So they've got to find a sheep that can bear the children. I'm sure they'll find a good sheep out there. What would happen to that genetically modified sheep? Yeah. Maybe she could carry the child. The first clone sheep, what was her name? I forget, Daisy? Something like that. Yeah. I don't believe there is a Zika virus fear right now. It's radiation. The Zika virus is trying to mask over the real problem, which is radiation. Look at, you can't tell me all the whales in the ocean, 337 of them that showed up in the coast of Chile in the past 3 months. Chile. 337 mass whale deaths. You can't tell me that they have the Zika virus, okay? So why don't you take your Zika virus and shove it up your beep, 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 beep. Sorry. But look at this. This is a real, no, this is not, this is radiation damage. They don't want to talk about Fukushima. Do you not understand that? They came up with some ridiculous concoction called the Zika virus. Out of the 732 kids that have shrunken heads in Brazil, only 6 of them had any evidence of a Zika virus in their body. Beep, 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 beep. You damn beep, 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 beep. You mother beep, 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 beep. Okay. Hey, we have a lot of fun here tonight. We are on cue for more music if you want to listen. We've got an endless roll going. Getting tired of the cornfield. I'm going to have to send somebody to the cornfield tonight. All right, everybody. Thanks for coming in and talking politics in a unique alternative venue. Going to the cornfields. Okay, so if you're worried about aliens, you came to the wrong place. I don't believe that aliens exist. I do believe that there might be some possible living creature somewhere floating in the universe. I definitely think that's possible. But I don't believe that this is a real picture of any real creature. This happens to be Balak Star, the Trek alien. It's an artistic rendition of an alien. But either way, I would be a liar if I said I believed in aliens. I don't believe in them because I don't believe that they have ever made a real presence known here on Earth. I believe that they're just kind of fictitious. It's probably an alien agenda put out by the elitists to make us think they exist. Even Hillary's talking about the existence of aliens. You know that's not true. If Hillary says it, you know it's not true. So if you want to believe in aliens, go right ahead. But not on my watch. All right, thank you. You know, some scientists think that the ghosts are aliens. You could think anything. You know, I tend to believe more in spiritual alliances like spirits themselves than I do aliens, frankly. We know that there are new dimensions. There are dimensions that we don't understand. We know that we don't have a clear vision of the 5th dimension. I know I've been dealing with the 4th dimension every day, called time. But the 5th dimension is something we haven't really understood, unless, of course, you're in the group, the 5th dimension. That's kind of fun. No, I haven't even had a second of media time, so don't say that I'm getting 0% in Iowa. That's just a lie. You've already seen everything controlled in your life, censored, the media, and you come in here and have the audacity to say I have 0% in Iowa. That's so hilarious. You just don't know. A UK town moves forward with fluoridated milk for children. I think we need to stop thinking about the UK and all the tooth repairs going on in their dentist offices. Okay, breaking news. I've never had media time with CBS, nor Gangster. They've never done anything with me. I've never had any media time whatsoever on the issues with any mainstream media attention. Nothing. Dave, I just stumbled upon a live link and it shows you at -0.1. Wow. Well, that's not appropriate either. Yeah. Ted Cruz is weird looking, according to the Google top story. Well, at the very least, let's turn the night into something fun, you know? Talk about somebody who looks like an alien, somebody who has the physical features of an alien, who wants to be like Hitler. I think it's time to talk about Ted Cruz. What do you say? Anyone have any suggestions? Who should we profile tonight as the most alien-looking presidential candidate? Anybody? Is anybody out there? Look, Mom, it's a plane. Is there anybody out there? Let's talk about it, Heavenly Father. Let's talk about my impersonation of Barack Obama, where I actually used my freedom of speech, which many of you don't even know you have. I'm not a shill. I would have had mainstream media attention like Bernie Sanders if I was a shill. I think he definitely looks kind of like an alien, for sure. You know, do the simple test. Did I get media attention or did I not? And the answer is no, therefore I'm not a shill. Okay? We've got a lot of good stuff coming at you. Well, some of you still believe in Hillary, even though she can't respond to any of her emails. And now that we found out that 22 of them are top secret, another 14 are possibly top secret. I never got any media attention. No, not on the issues. I asked them to talk to me about the issues, and they refused. They simply discussed this blackface thing, which was simply an impersonation of your robotic president, Barack Hussein Obama. It was just a simple impersonation video. And they turned it into some sort of an attack on me, which I think is very unfair. This, by the way, is pretty accurate to the actual biometric chip installed in his head. I don't have any jealousy for a man who can't produce any proof of his assets. No, I don't want a job working for Obama because he's going to be spending time at Supermax for lying about his birth certificate. I don't have any assets. Most of my assets are non-investments. If I had investments in liquid assets, I would earn an income from them. But because I don't, they're not really anything but latent assets from a collection that I acquired. Mr. President, I believe it's time for your enema. Well, thank you very much, Henry. Let's be clear. Excuse me, Henry. I'm gonna go ahead and have my enema. I have a lot of equity in this show. Yeah, it's true. I have built up a huge amount of equity in this show, but I don't draw on it. I don't draw cash profit from it. Nobody told me about my tie. Look at this. You should have told me about that.
I think they tried to, but
You didn't bother to even check my tie. Wow. That's why I need an art department or something to work with. Whew. Unbelievable. No, I can't do a GoFundMe page. They won't let me. You can't, if you're running as a candidate, you can't do a GoFundMe page. You didn't check into that? Read the small print. This is not an ugly tie. This is an indication of the hell inside your brain. The mush of empty thoughts, the talking points delivered to your head by the media. It's the darkness in your brain between your two ears. That's what this tie represents. That's why it's my Conspiracy Monday tie. Anyone have any other requests for impersonations of any sort? Feel free. I am on staff as a staff impersonation artist. GoFundMe accounts do not find it. You can't get a GoFundMe account to do a political campaign. I would have done it otherwise. Look at the fine print. Do Mike Rowe? Okay. I think the problem is everybody should get a job. There's not enough people working out there. Yeah, there's lots of jobs everywhere. They're tough jobs, but they're there. There's 93 million people out of work right now in America. And there's 3 million available jobs. That means that you can work. So get to work, 93 million people trying to get those 3 million jobs. Yeah. Good luck with that. Yeah, there's 3 million jobs available at dumpsters and recycling centers and garbage collectors and Home Depot and wherever else you want to work. Somehow Mike Rowe thought that somehow 97 million people are going to do those 3 million jobs. Apparently he never studied math. I never had sex with anyone, not even myself.
Do you want to take a break?
Yeah, thank you. Mike Rowe was just there, really.
Yeah, I heard about this story on...
Hang on, I got to move some things.
Yeah, let's get rid of all the other candidates other than you.
Yeah. Well, there's really no other candidate besides me. Hang on, I'll get it.
I can do it.
Nope, we're going to do it together. Welcome to the show. Yeah, today is Conspiracy Monday Day, and one of my goals is to talk about America's Third Party. Sarah's been doing a lot of work on the website, and it's now available. You can download our main picture, which shows you the site itself talks about our voter revolution, the voter revolt that's going on. You can get a screen cap of that picture at the front page and right-click it, put it on your hard drive, save it as, and then send it to your local Office Max. And for only $1, you can print up a poster. This is a way to step out of the two-party system and do something entirely different. So let me get this thing going here for you. Okay, let me get this thing going here for you. Okay, we're doing that. Okay, that and this. Yeah, what I think I should recommend that they put a lock on that thing so it never happens, because it inevitably happens when I do a lot of these back and forth.
Yeah, if you touch it or something, I don't know.
Well, no, I remove about 20 or 30 items every night in every show. And in the process, it's easy to hit that button.
Yeah.
All right, we're back. Let me show you what I did. I put this on an 8.5 by 11, and it works great. I printed it in color on cardstock, and you can get this for $1 or $1.88 for the 11 by 17. That's a much better solution than leave that on. Okay. You put that behind your window in the car. That's one way to do it. Yeah. And let's see if we can get another background here for you. There it is. Okay. All right. Okay. Thanks for coming in, everybody. I'll be back shortly. Yeah. I think there's an issue with the camera still. Let me just lighten it up a little bit. Hi. Phil Simms. Yeah, I kind of look like Phil Simms in that picture. You're right. Wow. You know Phil Simms? There we go. All right. Thank you. No, I don't get high. I get low.
I get in the middle. Because I'm a centrist. Oh, you guys say that all the time, but that's just because I'm a woman. I don't like that great. Thank you, though. I know I should say thank you. I know, it's amazing, Antique. It's because I'm getting older. I'll celebrate my oldness on Saturday. No, I'm exactly where I want to be, 199. I know it's might not be where you want to be, but it's where I want to be, so it's very good. I don't think that we need organized crime, no. Thank you. How old do you think I am, Sheriff John Brown? David said to start saying that. I'm a couple of years younger than that. 3, 8, 7. I'll actually, my age will be the first two numbers in your guest name. 387. My birthday's on Saturday, so it'll be very fun. We're the same age. Fantastic. I'm gonna say no, it's not Saturday every year, just Saturday this year. Like this coming Saturday. Oh, thank you so much. Yeah. Thank you. Not quite antique, a little bit older. Are you too young to know what it was like in the 50s? Yes, I am too young to know what it was like in the 50s. My mom might have known what it was like then. I hang out with people that might have known what it was like then. Yeah, exactly, Mo Green. You can be like, we're the same age. Oh, you lived it? Well, I wasn't pretending to live the 50s, but okay. If you're like saying, all right. Never mind. Nice to know. Thank you for sharing all that lovely information. You're right. I never claimed to know what it was like in the 50s. Is there someone that claimed that they knew what it was like in the 50s besides you, 769? I mean, we don't want to step on your toes here. Sorry if we did so. Why don't you share with us what it was like in the 50s? I bet there wasn't an internet. Oh my goodness. Yeah. Let's move on. Well, thank you for sharing that information. Good to know. Now let's see what's going on. Oh, I hate that before snooze site. I think I've told you all enough that I hate it. Like, hate it. Oh, I don't know. I don't think I'm a real smart one. You must be the real smart one. I did not take the actual SAT. I took the pre-SAT when I was in high school, but then I didn't take the actual SAT because I don't know. I ended up going to college anyway. I did get what should I say? Magna cum laude. That's how I graduated. So codes got hacked in the 80s. Yeah. I bet that. Oh yeah, you have a degree. Yeah, so do I. I actually started out at a 2-year college and then I went to WWU. I never attended WSU. I attended Western Washington, which is pretty cool. I know, so funny. Ha ha ha, 291. Ha ha ha. Yeah, exactly. I think there's one level up from me only because I got an A- or something, but that's okay. You smart. You loyal. Yeah, alright. I'm, oh! I didn't think about that. I was just looking. The IOC chief is confident about Rio games despite Zika. I totally forgot. Like, Zika virus. I forgot about the Rio games is what I forgot about. And, so, yeah. And now with Zika virus. Wow, yeah, that's true. I do like to wear a coat in the house. I encourage everybody to wear it. Put on a jacket, turn down your heat, and be amazed at what you save in your electric bill or your heater bill. How did I escape the grunge lifestyle in the 90s? Well, I didn't live in Washington State, Seattle area at the time. 2, I went through the grunge phase for about 2 weeks, like right after Kurt died. But I decided I wanted to wash my hair. 3, I was too busy studying academia to get into the grunge lifestyle. That pretty much cover it? Yeah. Oh, you would now. Oh, thank you for that information. Well, the thing is, the plumber, is that David isn't running under the two-party system. He's running under America's Third Party. So even though the caucuses just happened, David, that doesn't necessarily, the rules are different when you're running a third party as compared to under the two-party system. I'm a 90s girl, really. I mean, I graduated in 96. Opposite of those other two numbers. Yeah. Oh, thank you, 291. Thank you. Ha ha ha. You're such a comedian. Yeah, David's in Iowa campaigning. No, he's not. Yes, there's only one song that I liked by 9 Inch Nails. I can't even remember the name of it, but there was one song I liked by it. No, it's not Closer. No, it's not Head Like a Hole. I'm sure if you kept going, I'd say, yeah, that's it. Beautiful or something like that. And that feeds it. The bells. No. It was, the popular one. I'd say the popular one. I can't even remember. I used to listen to it like all the time, but no. Well, I like The Cure. I like The Cure very much more. I like The Cure a lot more than I like 9 Inch Nails, and I like Depeche Mode. Let's see. Like list, I should say. List of songs. The best David Bowie covers. Let's see. I like some David Bowie. I like David Bowie too. Yeah, Closer. Maybe it was Closer. That's true. I think that was it. Yeah, that one. Of course, because it had a good beat. I'm sure special. Thank you. Thank you very much. I like being special. That's what it was, New York Viking. That's what it was. From the Inside. Yeah, that was it. Yeah, I used to listen to that song quite a bit. Thank you. I haven't listened to that song probably in at least 15 years. So it is quite disturbing, isn't it? Well, just because I listen to a song doesn't mean I don't listen to it anymore. Oh, okay. No, not anymore. No, never. I say no. Yeah, it was played all the time back then. It was on all the radios. I was on all the radio stations, especially in Southern California. And yeah, I did like techno at the time. So, yep. I remember going to this like one dance hall that played like techno in one room, and then they had like a Depeche Mode release album, and it's very interesting. Dave makes awesome dinners.
Yeah, I made a stew. I was telling people how I conserve on food money, and this is a great way to do it, is to buy aged beef, often labeled expired meat. Believe it or not, meat gets better when it's a little bit older. That's what Angus beef is. You actually pay premium for that. So I can turn a very affordable piece of meat into a nice big stew and feed hundreds of people. Well, not really. If it was a big piece of beef, I mean, from one cow, I could feed hundreds of people. No, I don't like eating rotten meat. I just find that I need protein. And if I don't get the protein I need, I'm beginning to feel weak and inferior. I believe that my genetic structure is a carnivore, more so than an omnivore or an herbivore. So I found this out after 5 years of being a vegetarian. I realized that it's not good. So CNN has declared Cruz the winner, everybody. Trump is embarrassed. This is actually a good thing. If Cruz is going to be the winner of the Iowa caucus, pushing Trump aside, it opens up the playing field for other competitors, because Trump has been pushing a lot of the Republicans to the background with his outrageous statements that have been disturbing. I look like Don Johnson. Yeah, thanks, Big Daddy King. I don't have any type of tattoo at all. I don't believe in tattoos or piercings or anything like that. I'm kind of old-fashioned that way. Yeah, I don't think Ted has what it takes, though. He's a Canadian-born citizen. That is not a natural-born citizen. You can't be a natural-born citizen and be a Canadian-born citizen. You just can't do it. It goes against the grain of the Constitution. But we've already seen, 7 years of this illegal alien guy who'd never had his birth certificate scrutinized by science. So it's not surprising me that we're looking at a Canadian now running for the President of the United States. It's not shocking at all. I mean, apparently, the one thing we can glean from all of this is that the American people just are not that bright when it comes to deciding who they want for president. If the choices were better, if a third party had a chance to get out there in the media right now, we'd get a chance to stop this incredible hijacking of our nation by the two parties. But they've got that worked out. The elitists that own our country really own everything, including you. Okay, here's a 70-year-old woman. Check this out, Sarah. Her name is Annette Larkins. And Annette Larkin. And she's 70 years old. I'll look her up. She eats raw vegetables every day. Mm-hmm. I'm related to one of the oldest living, in fact, I am a direct relative of the oldest living American in North America, the oldest living human in North America. This woman is 70? No kidding. Check this out, everybody. Check this out, everybody. Take a look at Annette Larkin. I'm going to show you a 70-year-old woman, man. Raw vegan. Look at this, man. I cannot believe this. Check it out. She is 70 years old, honey. Isn't that amazing? I got to tell you, Annette Larkin is looking good for her age, man. See, she eats vegan. I'm like a vegan. I'm a person who eats very little beef, maybe 6 ounces at the most at any given time. But I've noticed that it does give me the necessary protein so that I can be strong. If I don't eat some sort of a high protein diet, I begin to feel weak in the knees. And yeah, she looks 70, I know. Especially in her neck. You could see the lines in her neck. I am more of a carnivore than an herbivore, yeah. But I prefer vegetables. Is everything black and white with you? I mean, don't you realize that there's a blend, a gray area, where you can be a little bit of carnivore, a little bit of herbivore, it's not a big deal, little vegan cheater, little vegetarian. I mean, does it really matter? I mean, just eat something high in food value, okay, and not GMO, and you'll live longer. All right, thank you. I am very happy Trump lost. Yeah, definitely. This is a big night for me. Thank you. I'm really concerned about this Trump guy, but I'm more concerned about this Ted Cruz guy, too, because they're both Hitlerian in nature. They act like Hitler. Yeah! Thank you, Sarah. And there is hot stew on the stove in case you want it, because in a little while it'll be desiccated, the hot stew. What I do is I cook the stew for about 20, 30, 40 minutes on medium, like level 2 or 3 on the electric stove, or low on a gas stove. 20, 30 minutes, and I'm not wearing a wig, dude. This is my real hair. And then I turn the flame off and let it sit. And I don't lift the top. If you break that heat seal, it loses all that nutrition and those amino acids that are coming off of that steak that you're paying premium buckaroos for. Yeah. My hair is on fleek. Thank you. Well, you can promote it on Instagram too. And you can promote my hair. This is not a wig.
All right, good night.
God, good night, Sarah.
Whatever.
Yeah, whatever.
I mean, I'll go eat. And I don't know.
No, go in there. Have yourself a night. Where did all the eyebrows go? No, I've got plenty. I have hair that happens to match my eyebrows. Where have all your eyebrows gone? Long, long eyebrows. Did you hear that? Yeah, he changed his mind. I'm glad. I'm glad he's finally broken out of his little place that he has. Yeah, someday he'll get himself out of that chair and he'll go out and be in the real world, and he won't have to sit there asking for his mother to help him out. Trump lost, yeah. It's been a big moment. I think Ted Cruz won with somebody saying, "You look weird," and everyone all of a sudden said, "Oh my God, he said the truth," and then they all had white guilt, and the white guilt kicked in. The Canadian white guilt kicked in. And they all said, well, we better vote for Ted because somebody said he looked weird. Yeah. It's good to see Donald squirm, though. Because we've seen him with his little hit parade activity walking around like he's tooting his own horn all the time, acting like he's got more votes than Ted. This is going to pull the wind out of his sails. I wouldn't doubt they fixed the Diebold voting system to the caucus was probably set up so that he would lose. The Republican Party secretly does not want him to win the nomination because they know that he'll lose the Latino vote. Now Ted Cruz could kind of carry a little Latino in him. He has some Cuban ancestry, but the reality is they're looking to win the Latino vote. The Republicans have had it on their mind for a long time. And when Donald Trump started out of the gate calling Mexicans, illegal Mexicans, many of them drug addicts, criminals, and rapists, that didn't go too well at the caucus today. Ah, the taste of hot coffee. I love it. All right, let's take a look here and take a quick look at what this video audio is. Yeah. You know, I've often said that I will meet the Black Caucus every month to talk about the issues. That goes true with the White Caucus and the Hispanic Caucus and the Asian Caucus. We'll meet with all of you once a month. Okay?
Oh boy, continue, we're out to another, it's true, me. Oh boy, continue, we're out to another, it's true, me.
Great song, man. Love it. Great music, Scissor Fight. Outstanding. You're not getting too much echo, are you? What's this world coming to? Coming to a new beginning. A better future for this country. Great music. Relaxing too, you know. And the stuffed puppet is really kind of a nice little beat metronome. I'm so glad you came into the show and you're enjoying Baby Trump drop a peg or two from his status as world Führer and Hitler emulator. Aside from, it's a competition between the two wannabe Hitlers, Ted Cruz or Donald Trump. We're not sure which one. That was really good. Great work. And you have a download link. I'll use that. The Gestation. I like the name of that. I like all the names of your songs. So his little balloon has been deflated somewhat. Well, let's be clear. Let me put it in there. But what we're seeing is really just the two parties maneuvering while they continue to really miscalculate the American people. Now, Ted Cruz may have won on the back of the Tea Party, which still has a strong belief that Ted Cruz carries the wishes of the Tea Party. My attentive suggestion, Mike, I don't have one for you. Yeah, I don't. You work on your own suggestions. We all have to stimulate ourselves in some way or another. Jill Stein, is she still alive? Seriously? This is called Gestation by Scissor Fight. Very cool. Let me put this in my library first. Hang on. Takes me a second. Well, the Tea Party platform is essentially still riding. The two winning midterms, the 2010, 2014 elections, were both Tea Party victories. So Ted Cruz is carrying that steam. I think the American media is miscalculating the power of the Tea Party. And I know the Republican Party and Donald Trump have completely miscalculated the power of the Tea Party. Now, there is no Tea Party. They're a 501c4. They're not an official political party like America's Third Party is striving to be. We are 100% FEC compliant, unlike anything they're trying to do. They're controlled by big money. They're powered up by these powerful elitists that give them tons of money, like the Koch brothers. Gestation. I love that. Great sound. You got such a great ear for music. I love that. David, why does the photo of you in that suit look so strange? Was this photoshopped? This isn't me. This is Donald Trump. Yeah. Yeah, that's not... A lot of things are a lot of things are photoshopped. Yeah, that's not... This is Donald Trump. This isn't me. You thought this was me? I'm sorry. Yeah, you missed the memo. I know. Many people are really kind of mistaking me for Donald Trump or Bernie Sanders. I look like all of them. Yeah. I know. Everywhere I go, say, "Are you Bernie Sanders?" No, I'm not Bernie Sanders. Well, you sure look as old as he does. Are you Donald Trump? No, I'm not Donnie. I'm not Sandy Duncan either. I knew a woman who did look like Sandy Duncan. It was a weird moment in my life. Okay, let's see if I... Yeah, see this. I get this look all the time. See how closely I resemble him. It's pretty obvious. You're fired. Let's do something more productive tonight, because I feel like our brains are fried or something. Don't you get the impression our brains have been purposely fried during the election? You think they're dumping RF frequencies on our heads to keep us stupid during this time period? Donald will have closure, yes. Hopefully he and his daughter slash person he may date, if she wasn't his daughter, maybe they'll get through this. Bernie had 21, Hillary had 19 delegates. Really got a race? Wow. Not too much coffee, just too much nonsense in the media, distorting the ideas that we talk about. There's very little political dialogue going on in the mainstream media. You have about 35 people that pop up all the time, the same people. That's a conspiracy of sorts. People conspiring to be the only ones in the media. That's one conspiracy. Another conspiracy is the fact that we don't even have any oversight. The FAA doesn't talk about all of the flights that are happening overseas, over our heads. The FAA doesn't even know when they spray chemtrails in the skies. So that's how bad off it is. Oh yeah, operators are standing by. Yep. Camis in the sky, do, chemtrails in the sky. But we are being doused on a daily basis. In our area, we are getting more precipitation because of the silver iodide they stuck in our atmosphere. I looked up at the sky today and it looked kind of like this above my house. And the Democrats or Republicans, they will not talk about this. This story has been marginalized to the background. People don't talk about it. A lot of things they don't talk about in the mainstream media. They don't even bring up vaccinations anymore. You see, the two parties, folks, have been completely controlled by the powers that be that want to desecrate our planet and turn our nation into a dump zone for chemtrails. Camis in the sky, do. No, I'm not gay. Why do you keep asking me that? It's bizarre to me that people keep asking me that. I don't get that. Yeah, I really believe that people's gaydar has been completely miscalculated in their minds. I think they've been watching too many, I don't know, maybe transgender cable TV shows on MTV. I don't know. Dave, do you think your swatting was not planned? No, I think it was. I think it was planned by the people that did it. Yeah, for sure. It's safe to say that people that perpetrate crimes against others end up, planning those things. That's conspiracy in and of itself. Guy with no job says, David, at times I wonder, are you really even running for president, or is this a comedy show? Well, you keep watching, so it must be working. Bottom line is I had to... Sure, Tim Gunn impersonation. On 3, 2, 1. Okay, everybody. Let's just get ready to work this out. Let's just make it work. Check the accessory rack. How's that? Was that good? All right. I wasn't going to do that, but I don't mind doing it. The fact of the matter is, I realized 7 years ago when I started this quest of giving you a 3 to 4 hour show a night, for the past 7 years, I wasn't going to be able to do it if I was, "Hi everybody, my name is David Sponheim. I'd like to talk about the country." I had to be a little bit more animated and more interesting. And frankly, my program is requiring me to be innovative and self-learning. So in order to provide you a completely multitude of experiences online in this static platform, which we are using, this two-dimensional platform, I needed to flex the show and provide you more interesting stuff. We have a lot of good links coming into the show, like this tick time JPEG. We integrate that stuff all the time into our show. This is the R2D2 catheter. Wow. Makes authentic R2D2 sound effects when inserted. So for people who are into Star Wars like really intensely, this palliative toy is not a toy. This is an actual catheter that could be force you to actually speak like R2D2. That's hilarious. Well, see, we have fun stuff like that. That makes the show interesting as opposed to boring. Clean your glasses. Yeah, my glasses are dirty. Yeah, you see that? Boy, you're really a neat freak. Hooded Menace. Wow, you are really a neat freak, man. Look at that. It upset him that my glasses were not clean. All right. Well, apparently this is not my normal look, but I don't mind wearing some traditional Eisenhower glasses for you. Let's talk about the country, shall we? This is a ridiculous waste of time, this two-party system. You're never going to get anything from it. You know that, right? You're never going to get $1. Well, if we don't do this, if we don't keep trying to build this movement, and you are helping, thank you very, very much for telling people about a third party, we are on a roll. And so far, if we continue on this trajectory, we might actually get mentioned for a 3 or 4 second period in the mainstream media in 2024. But we can't stop, and we're going to keep doing it.
We're going to dance all night, bring it on to the sunlight. We can't stop, we can't stop, we can't stop.
And I'm not getting any older, so the nice thing is I reversed my aging process, and now I'm going to be younger in about 10 years. When I get into a little Tybo, who knows? I might actually do some male modeling.
For president.
We're gonna dance all night, bring it on to the sunlight. Can't stop, can't stop, and we won't stop. We're gonna dance all night, bring it on to the sunlight. Can't stop, can't stop.
First we hit 'em low, then we hit 'em high. Underrated, but we made it to the finish line. Rhymes designed to combine and intertwine. Spring to the summer, fall, even winter time. Beats banging harder, then head-on collisions. We make incisions with precision and quick decisions, causing double visions. If you ain't up to speed, you need to speed it up, partner. Piano read.
We can't stop and we won't stop. We're gonna dance all night, bring it on to the sunlight. Can't stop, we can't stop, we can't stop. We can't stop and we won't stop. We're gonna dance all night, bring it on to the sunlight. Can't stop, we can't stop, can't stop. We can't stop and we won't stop. We're gonna dance all night, bring it on to the sunlight. Can't stop, we can't stop, we can't stop, we can't stop. We can't
In this coming election, please vote for David Spawn Hyde. America's Third Party.
Okay, we're going to talk about the future of the technocratic developments that have happened in our society right now. I'm going to be briefly talking about what's coming under the existing New World Order formula. Fully autonomous robots will be patrolling your streets very soon. I'm serious. The 6-foot-tall RoboCop has been developed by Florida University and will soon be protecting and serving by handing out tickets. If you think I'm making this up, I'm not. I wish I was. But it's a problem that's getting worse and worse, and it's not going to get any better unless we come up with a better plan. The two-party system will not address this issue of the growing technocracy and the growing police state. I will. No other person out there in running for politics is addressing the takeover of our rights and freedoms more than I am. I mean, if you think that Ted Cruz is fighting for the freedom of America and liberty, he has no interest in liberty. He's primarily interested in his personal fame and fortune. And I have only one video to show you. I wish this could have gotten out in Iowa. I wish somebody with some serious money could have gotten this video out there in time, but we just pulled this video up last week. And it's a shocker. Yeah. And by the way, if you're gathering together in Oregon for the Lavoie-Finnecane rally, we're going to talk about that in just a second.
I see what you want me to do, what I want to do in life. Well, my aspiration is to, I don't know, be in a teen tit film like that guy who played Horatio. You know, he was in Malibu Bikini Beach Shop. Well, other than that, take over the world domination, you know, rule everything, rich, powerful, that sort of stuff.
Okay, you heard it from the horse's mouth. He wanted to be a world dominator. He's a total weasel. Somebody said in the room, thank you for that bit of interest that he may be a shill for the Illuminati, a Zionist. Yeah. Cruz is Mossad, Bengalita said. Interesting, very interesting. My hair is not fake, and I will prove it by taking each strand and analyzing its net worth. What is a piece of one of my hairs worth to you? You see the root and the root ball? You see me tugging on it? You can't do that with a hairpiece. There's no way you can do that with a hairpiece. Could you please get somebody from the Hair Club for Men in the chat room? Any of you work for the Hair Club for Men? Can you verify what I just said? A root banana. No, it's not. It's real, dude. There's nothing fake about my hair. I was born with the best hair on earth. 7 years ago, I was born with the best hair on earth. You can have my autograph. Yes, as a matter of fact. I wore a bag on my head the other night. This is the actual bag. Oh, sorry. And I was going to autograph this bag and put it in an envelope, a $5.35 envelope, and mail you a sign for the person who donates the most. Yeah, and it'll be signed, the bag will. Isn't that kind of cool? Yeah, so far we haven't had any donations, so whoever has the biggest donation will win. But there's no time limit on this. This could be, next month. No, I'm not tired. I was tired last night, though. I went to sleep, though. Yeah, well, sometimes I don't get a wonderful night's sleep. I sometimes get a 5 or 6 hours as opposed to 7. But yeah, it's easy to get tired when you work hard. Your wife owns a checkbook? Yeah, that's cool. No big deal. I know, you can donate your time here. Are you tired? You have a bags into your eyes, too. Oh, she took the night off. It's just me and you for the next 45 minutes. A 40-year ban, the U.S. starts exporting crude oil. Good. After a 40-year ban on exporting, the U.S. is finally exporting crude oil. That's impressive. Yeah, I can actually prevent the bags from just, smiling more often. Okay, let's take a look here. Oh, this is CNN. Uh-oh. My browser could crash. I don't know. Don't be surprised if it doesn't. CNN's the worst on browsers. We used to call it the CIA News because it's run by the CIA. America's wasting little time getting back into the oil exporting business. How low can oil prices go? You've already donated time. Yeah, that's the nice thing about it. It's the time is the eternal donation. It's the one thing we are limited on this earth with. So by giving me your time, you're giving me something more precious than money. Think about it that way. Yep, that's not going to play. When it does play, it never works properly. That was a really good song. The Gestation. Impressive. What about the hydrogen? You want to talk about Operation Mockingbird? Okay. Scientists are getting ready to do gene editing. Yes. Iowa caucuses looked like it was a Ted Cruz
really interesting
win
to see how when you look at those numbers.
Hong Kong and China getting to be a bit less than 2 systems. There have been 5 murders. 5 people were pulled out of Hong Kong by mainland China in an investigation. And the North Sea has had a death toll of 23 as another 8 whales wash up on German coasts after mass beachings across Europe. The whales around the world are dying, everyone. In fact, 337 dead whales were found in Chile over the past 3 months. Worst case scenario. Yeah, serious. So nothing in the mainstream media is being dealt with. The things we're talking about are not mentioned on your network television. And that shows me that they are completely out of touch. Now, when I talk about a RoboCop coming to your town near you, I mean it. We need to prepare and democratize this world. And we cannot sit back and watch our nation drift deeper and deeper into the chasm of stupidity and ignorance while we get lied to by the 2 parties yet again in this election. The time has come for the American people to stand up to this corporatocracy that's pushing a police state more deeply into the operation and governance of our nation. And it's screwing our nation up. We need our freedom back. We need individuality. Parents don't need to be told they need to vaccinate their kids. They should be able to opt out and have homeschool options for their children. We don't need GMOs in our diet. We need to tell Monsanto to stop this dangerous behavior. But we're not getting any responses whatsoever from the current 2-party system. Thank you. We're not getting any solutions. Quiet, Dave. I'm trying to listen to the music. All right, thanks. Meester, you don't like anybody who comes up with good ideas. Well, we need a society that's less fixated on superficiality. That's for sure. You know, I'll tell you, I would rather show you my real face. It's so much better if I were to come out and say, hey, Dave, go back 5 years and reverse the plastic surgery that's been done on your face to make yourself look a little younger, and just show people how you really look, you know? It'd be so much better if I was able to do that, but we're so superficial as a nation that I can't do that. Well, you know, bottom line is my real look is not that appealing. The artificially new Dave was engineered in order to create the mystique of fresh youth, you know? It's not that easy. It wasn't just plastic surgery. I had to do a complete body makeover. An extreme body makeover to get to look like I'm looking today. Yeah. I don't have a rug, and these aren't fake teeth. These are veneers, press-on veneers. Hey, bottom line is I had to do the veneers for an important performance I did impersonating Barack Obama. And I went and did a series of Barack Obama impersonation videos in 2014 on my website. And to fulfill the Blackface 2 commitment that I made to my supporters, I've said from 2010 to 2014 that I would do it, and I sure did it. And in order to do it properly, I needed the Barack Obama smile. So I had to get these veneers for $600. This is how the whole evolution of the veneers happened. So then I worked on the routine, and we came up with a couple of really good videos. The hit counter has been locked, so you can't really see it grow on YouTube because I've been censored, but my Broke Insane Obama's videos are exemplary of an excellent form of satire that I don't think you've ever gotten from anyone else quite like me, which I think is really cool. Now, you're welcome to check out our whole line of videos at that location. I have 732 videos or more at our current youtube.com/AmericasThirdParty, but that's my personal YouTube site. And I think I did a very good job of exposing the New World Order aspect of Barack Obama and how he's been bought off. And I don't think anyone has ever even gotten close to what I've done in terms of satire. But in no way do I want to do more impersonation videos in blackface, because we won't have a black president pretty soon. What's the point? No, I don't believe blackface is racist. I believe that it's my right to use freedom of speech to impersonate a president. And if you deny that the right, a new show making fun of me, yeah, I'm sure. Well, they should. That's okay. I'm glad you lost your VIP. It was the end of the month. Who can pay for that anyway? What is it, $15 a month? That's a lot of money. Watch America's student loan debt grow $2,726 every second. Wow. Market watch. The big balloon that's going to burst in the market, they say, is the student debt loan crisis. I demand walnut pecan cookies. Okay, market watch. Debt growing by the second. Yeah. I've heard people, $1.33 trillion. I've heard that people are just not paying their debt because they're waiting for the economy to reset. One person said that. Apparently I reset the camera again. Yeah. They are rigging the caucus. Yep. The Zionist money got a hold of it, and the Mossad guy won. Yeah. There you have it. Check out this Carlin bit. Yeah, I can, but not right now. If I did it, it automatically causes copyright hell for me. Yeah, whenever I'm broadcasting on YouTube, if I play anything like that, I get copyright monetization issues pop up. There we go. Popping up. I'm back at you. I'm still in Technicolor, although I need to increase my 1280 by 720 resolution and enhance video signal to accommodate color variations. Yeah, it really is tragic for me to watch our country being bought and sold. When it became obvious that Ted Cruz had taken out millions of dollars in a loan from Goldman Sachs, who is the company that his wife works for, and now that Ted Cruz wins, people must dislike Donald Trump that much to give Ted Cruz the win in the Republican Party caucus, which is interesting because people are really internally quite upset that Trump has pissed everybody off. And like I said earlier, they desperately want the Latino vote. So Ted Cruz has Cuban roots would give him, a little bit more of an edge. Marco Rubio having a little bit more than him. Yeah. But they're not really listening to people on an issue by issue basis other than voting as a bloc. That's how the Republicans always have been. They're a bunch of bloc voters. They vote as sheep or cattle, wherever the cattle want them to vote. But I really believe it's the Tea Party roots that Ted Cruz has that pulled this vote forward. But people aren't even aware that if he's got deep roots at Goldman Sachs, he can't possibly be a true Tea Party supporter. So I welcome Tea Party people into this party. I'm far more fiscally conservative than Ted Cruz. Far more. With a greater challenge ahead, we've got a way to not tax you and give you great solutions that'll get this country to run internally like a good business should. That's right. My party, America's Third Party, yeah. It's the one I'm developing here. While you were sitting there masturbating, I've been working on this for the past 7 years. Yeah, she worked for Goldman Sachs. Thank you. As in past tense. Now, who does she work for now? The Fed? My party's happening all the time. China busts an alleged Ponzi scheme. $7.6 billion online Ponzi scheme busted by the Chinese. Beijing. Dateline Beijing. Police arrested the maverick founder of China's largest online finance business on suspicion of fleecing 900,000 investors of $7.6 billion in what could be the biggest financial fraud in Chinese history. State media outlets reported the arrest of Ding Ning, and 20 of his employees late Sunday. So Ding Ning. Yeah, that was epic, Carlin. I just wish I could play it for you, Bog Monster. Sorry. Okay. Izubawa was the most spectacular player in a booming online investment industry that Chinese authorities have been struggling to regulate. Firms ranging from established internet companies such as Alibaba to virtually unknown upstarts have flooded into the business, promising higher returns than those of the state-run banks, which offer interest rates below inflation. This is going to be a real challenge, but I'm glad in a way that China's got ahead of this. Their economy depends on a certain structural norm that they're imposing communist rules, by the way, on investors in China. You can't just pull stock out of the stock markets in China rapidly if you're Chinese. You get penalized. David, are you a professional IT photographer? No, I'm not. Do I look like a professional anything? Yeah. I'm trying to defy the professional look. Well, you can say whatever you want. I've done enough bad-mouthing about Ted Cruz. Sure, I've called him an asshole. Yes. But who hasn't called somebody that? I get called that every day. It ports your real-life activities into the game. I did not know yet. I heard about the Chinese video game. You're talking about the Sesame Credit? Yes, they're called Sesame Credits. And the Sesame Credit system is a complete mind bend. It's the Chinese government trying to control thought, groupthink. Kids get better credits when they are online and they're good Chinese obedient citizens. Yeah, I heard about that. You know, Norm, we haven't finished counting, but we'll get to you on that. Thanks. Norm doesn't know the whole thing is rigged. Oh, well. Good one, Normie. I don't want to see it. I'll listen to it, though. Let's take a look. And the 1, and the 2, and the 3. A good song. Here we go, everybody. Lawrence Welks. It's a Jeb Bush hurt to sound. Waiting. You know, something tells me that that's sick and you are sick, okay? And I don't like anything with a picture like that. That's disgusting, man. Yeah, don't post crap like that here, man. That's just wrong. Yeah, here's a good video about Sesame credits. Let's see if I can play this. No, I'm sorry, I can't play it. The censors have told me that it is too true to play on our show.
There was a giant made by men, not from flesh and bone.
And when we first started to look into it, we couldn't believe it. Even now, looking at this, I keep thinking that there's gotta be something about this that I just don't understand. Like, I must be reading this wrong. It's just so clearly something out of dystopian science fiction. And yet, here it is in our world, and people are actually embracing it. Apparently, China has gamified being an obedient citizen.
Apparently, China has gamified being an obedient citizen. Yes. Talking in fun character voice. Yeah. Kind of like that experience I had with that, Nancy Cartwright, the woman who plays Bart. You know, Bart Simpson. I met her when she was in a college at the dorms at UCLA. And I've never seen anyone quite as childlike as her. And it's kind of an interesting little story. If you really have an interest in something like Nancy did, in doing voices, you can become very successful. She's worth about $70 million in net worth. I mean, she's done an amazing job. But the fact is, when I saw her, she was 20 years old. She looked like a 12-year-old. I was 17 at the time, and I walked up to her. I said, "Hi, what's your name?" "Hi, Nancy." I said, "Really?" "Hi, Nancy. You want to play with my dolls?" And I'm going, "No, I don't really play with dolls anymore, Nancy." Yeah, it's like I couldn't believe what I was seeing. But she loved to play with her dolls, and she loved voices. And look what that got her. Moral of the story is pursue your dreams like Nancy did. Seriously, I'm telling you. She is one of the most successful voiceover artists in national history. Even more than Casey Kasem, America's Top 40. You sort of look like a Ken doll to me, Dave. Now that'd take that personal insult there, buddy. Call me a Ken doll? I think that's BS. Normie, Trump is not a support. He's got my idea for the wall, Normie. Yeah, that's my idea. He bastardized my idea. The 1,000-mile fence idea. Okay. Floodgates open, feds to cut border monitoring by 50%. The Illuminati wants these people to come into our country. They want us to weaken our borders. They're doing everything they can to push their agenda, their New World Order agenda. And by keeping America weak, the Illuminati wins. Are you beginning to see the picture here, folks? That's right. As the feds plan to cut border monitoring, Texas officials ask why. Governor Greg Abbott and U.S. Representative Henry Cuellar a Laredo Democrat, pressed the U.S. Department of Homeland Security on Monday to explain why the agency plans to reduce its aerial surveillance on the Texas-Mexican border. This is really right out of the same playbook of the past 20 years. This is how they operate. You know, there's a Representative Gonzalez down there in the base of Texas, near El Paso, the area that is open. He's been trying to get fences for years, and they continue to ignore him in Congress. They want no borders at all. They want our country to be toppled over. These people truly want to take down our nation, these elitists. They don't want us to have a border. Well, that's my point, Normie. I've got the wall idea would be the illegal aliens in our prison system would be able to build the wall. They currently are spending... We're spending $25 billion a year on the warehousing of these illegal aliens, and we don't need to do that. We could save $25 billion a year on their warehousing, and have them work their time off, and then give them a free ticket home. Here are your deportation papers. Thank you very much for 3 months of labor, and here's $100, $1 a day. And we still make money doing this because we can keep them out of our country once they build the wall to keep themselves out. And then we can actually make it electric, yes. It will be a full electric fence. The idea is a lethal electric. It's definitely a variety of barriers, including a road running between it, that could be used to monitor tunnel operations using mobile unmanned vehicles that can travel the distance with a sonar and x-ray equipment looking into the ground as they go. You can imagine how that would be, slowly moving along and seeing deep tunneling operations. We'd be beaming down. And if anybody shot at these vehicles, we'd initiate laser sightings and they would be attacked from the vehicle itself. Pretty cool, huh? All of this technology is totally within reach. We can secure our border, and we can make sure that our points of entry and exit are completely open just like they are right now, as long as they're controlled properly. Now, my plan is to bring our troops home and get us out of these ridiculous wars that Ted Cruz and Donald Trump and other people want to start. My goal is to bring our troops home and actually use them at the border in rotation to replace the National Guard, replace the Border Patrol with National Guard. We can actually bring them in and offer these great ideas. So what we offer at this third party is completely different than the other two parties. We want to bring our troops home. Unlike the Republicans, the Democrats, we want to end the Federal Reserve for real. And we want to work with the existing Federal Reserve Act to retire their charter. There's a method to do that. We also believe that legalization at recreational marijuana, legalization is essential for our country to grow economically. This is a big difference and departure from where our competitors are at. And then we have great new renewable energy technology ideas that will solve America's problems. Another area that the two parties come up short. No, Normie, just to relax. Things are not happening as fast as you think. Just because a guy wins the Iowa election doesn't mean he's going to become president. Most of the people that have won the Iowa election historically have never become president. Need I remind you about Howard Dean? Thank you. Yeah, don't worry. There's nothing to worry about with a guy like Ted Cruz wanting to dominate the world. We know what he said. We know that his a need for world domination is very keen.
Aspiration. Did I have like sweat on my butt? No. Oh, I see. What you want me to do? What I want to do in life? Well, my aspiration is to, be in a teen fit film like that guy who played Horatio. You know, he was in Malibu Bikini Beach Shop. Well, other than that, take over the world domination, rule everything, rich, powerful, that sort of stuff. Aspiration. That like...
Pretty intense, huh? Bet you didn't see that one coming. Yeah, he really wanted world domination. This is when he was younger. Okay, so you quit smoking weed because you thought it made me lazy and unmotivated? It turns out you're just lazy and unmotivated. Okay. Content was blocked on both of those. I hope you know that that's a virus infection that's going on in that thing that you have there. The reason why I know is I have multiple levels of antiviral, anti-malware capability functioning simultaneously during the show. He is so fake, Normie. I know. The guy is not credible. He had undisclosed loans from 2 banks. Thanks, guest 628. You think you're the only military? No, there's other military. It's just not as strong as ours. But thanks for piping in. You're behind 7 proxies. Well, yes, sure. You sure are. Yep. The NSA can see that. That's right. I know. Where do you think your servers at North Korea are coming out of? The NSA runs a VPN hub out of South Korea. You did not know that? Okay. We know exactly where you are. You're at Camp 22. You're one of those North Korean prisoners. How did you get a laptop? We got a North Korean prisoner with a laptop here, folks. We got a live one. Hillary email reveals assassination teams. Are you serious? Whoa. How do you know this, 628? How do you know? Hi, Linux user. Linux users here, everybody. Let's all take notice. Hi, Linux user. Yeah, where are you getting this information about Hillary having revealing assassination teams in her emails? Is this just something you're coming up with, 628? Okay, I'm Googling. Maybe that's why I'm still safe, because she had to go public with all that. I don't know. Google. Let's check it out. We'll go into the Google network, run by the NSA, controlled by the Navy, and we'll Google that and see if it'll allow me any information. Okay, let's see how well this works. Hillary's emails reveal assassinations. Now that's the incorrect use of the word reveal, so let's put it in proper terms. Okay, here we go. Let's see what happens. I'm Googling. The fake cruise? Okay, I will. Thanks, Normie. Normie's got a link we need to watch tonight. Thanks. Hi, sailor. Okay, Hillary Clinton's secret reveal is at Project Research. Project End Search 11 hours ago. Okay, let's take a look. I'm sorry.
He is Ted Cruz. He will always be Ted Cruz.
Okay, let's take a look here, because this is not, that page was not found. That was a link that was scrubbed by the, perhaps the people of the Army. They do a lot of work. The Army, the Allied Signal Corps is does most of the scrubbing on the internet, from what I've heard. So any type of stories like that are not supposed to be out there get usually taken down. Welcome to the free internet, where everything's censored. Answer the question. Dave, if I was asked to serve our military, were you going to be? Dave, if I was asked to serve our military, where are you going to be? In the White House. Yeah. Dave, have you heard the recent news that WhatsApp is starting to send and store user information, giving it to Facebook? Well, WhatsApp was purchased for $19 billion. I don't think I understand your question, Doobster. Yeah, if you were asked to serve in the military, well, thank you, Doobster. You know, I signed the Selective Service documents in 1983, and I have real signatures on my documents. The ones that Barack Obama has are forged, clearly. I mean, you just have to look at them and you'll see it's forged. I was willing to serve back then, but we weren't at war like we were when you had to serve. But to ask you to serve again to fight foreign wars, Dubster, for other countries, not going to happen under my watch. Okay? Just so you know. The only time I'd have you serve again is if we were attacked. All right? I thank you for offering to protect me. Don't really need to see a person's weightlifters, bodybuilders, World War. I mean, I don't know what you're sending me images of wrestlers. I don't get that. Yes, my mother was born in America, and my father was too. They were both U.S. Marines. I'll be playing those Ted Cruz family outtakes at the top of the hour. Thanks for giving us those links. Well, the funny thing is that WhatsApp claims all their user data is encrypted and they can't access it. Yet they're giving that supposed encrypted information to Facebook. Something tells me the information isn't encrypted like they say. You think? Linux user has a good question. Well, they did buy WhatsApp for $19 billion. It was unprecedented. Mark Zuckerberg had a counter bid from Google of $10 billion, and he upped it to $19 billion to close the deal, which makes me think that Mark Zuckerberg is actually a Rothschild. Now, there is a conspiracy theory. Yeah, my mother was a Marine and my father was a U.S. Marine. Yes, both of them met at Camp Lejeune in North Carolina. That's when they first met. Anyway, I wanted to say this, that Hillary never had a secured DoD account. No, she didn't. But we haven't found exactly anything regarding her emails yet. We know that they contain classified information, but assassination teams, I cannot corroborate that. Yes, Stanley Kubrick was always afraid of being killed because of his information about the moon landing. There's a lot to Google, Normie. Tor has been compromised by an email attack that happened. Yep, I heard about that. Yeah, Tor was compromised a few months ago. Well, I can definitely be a good politician, but I'm more than that. I'm a real person. I'm a leader. I'm a person who's willing to give the right answers, creative thought to every single problem facing the country. I will respond in real time, as opposed to Barack Obama, who's been filtered and prepped and prompted by teleprompters. I will respond in real time. We will have an interactive chat show at the White House every day for 1 hour, or wherever I am. I'm going to tune in and listen to the American people. That's nothing. No other candidate's offering what I'm offering for the upcoming 4-year period. I'm going to be the transparent president that you were promised of Barack Obama. I really believe that we need to get you people more involved. Yeah, so Tor is not secure, people. If you think it is, then think otherwise. And not all VPNs are secure either. A lot of them were purchased by the government in anticipation of people wanting to get more VPNs. The government bought up VPNs. Yes, I do, Dubster. Thank you. I've read. I appreciate your candor and your support and in every way, and your courage to stand up for this country. Folks, we've got an American hero in our chat room. Dubster has served in the U.S. Marines during Gulf War II and Afghanistan, and truly is the caliber of individual that this nation is really supposed to be all about. And I appreciate your time here, man. Yeah. Well, owned and operated by the elitists, Mark Zuckerberg is veritably a possible Rothschild. Let me show you a picture of Mark Zuckerberg that tells a different story about who he might be. By the way, I have not found a family line for the Zuckerbergs on Ancestry.com. I don't know if you've been able to find any information about the Zuckerberg family, but it looks like a made-up name. Sugar Mountain, Sugar Daddy. I mean, one has to question, how a person is willing to give $19 billion away to buy an application that isn't that big of an application. It's basically the NSA saying, oh, okay, here, Mark, we'll give you whatever you want. Buy up WhatsApp because we have lots of users that we need to track. 460 million viewers or users, subscribers to the WhatsApp network were acquired when Mark Zuckerberg bought this. The face is not adjusted right, but if you tilt one face down in your mind, you get the picture. It's hard to get a perfect analysis, but his ears looked like they could have been cropped. The nose is very close to identical. The lips are very close to identical. The space between his upper lip is very close to identical. Everything's almost close to identical, even the position of the Adam's apple. The person on the far left is a Rothschild, the grandson of the Rothschilds. Yeah. Mark Zuckerberg could very well be that person, posing as Mark Zuckerberg. It could be a match with facial reconstructive surgery. You may not think it's a match, Shrek. That's fine. No problem. Mark's father is also very elusive in his interactions with the press. Supposedly he's a small-time dentist in the New England area. I don't buy that for a second, Lennox. Zuckerberg. He's, I had him on the cover of a magazine in the other room. I flipped the magazine over. I can't stand looking at his face. Bottom line is he did not earn his money. He stole the ideas from two guys in college, paid him $160 some odd million in a settlement, and then profited, $40 billion so far on their software? Yeah, he stole it. So how can our nation sit back and watch these megalomaniacal monopolies form under the auspices that he's a real guy? I would vet him. I would have him completely checked at all levels to make sure he's even a U.S. citizen before we move forward. Absolutely. And count on monopoly busting under my term as president. I will go after the biggest monopoly out there, and that would be Google. We will break Google down so that the American people will own Google when I get done with it. And you guys will get a job from your house making $36,000 a year sitting in front of your computer going, I think I'll make a website here, dude. I think maybe I'll make a few websites. Then you'll make money. The American people need to get in on this cash cow we call Google. And there's no way we're getting any justice whatsoever. If they got a little bit of code in there that they're making tons of money on, are they going to make money on it for the rest of eternity? Seriously. No, it's not communism. It's called monopoly busting. It's been done in a capitalist nation before. Look at Ma Bell. They broke Ma Bell up. That's how you have General Telephone, Verizon, Frontier. You've got a lot of spin-offs of the Ma Bell network. Had Ma Bell been able to control the destiny of communications, we would have had an even worse problem than we have already, with people paying jacked up rates on all your phones. Most of you are paying like $150 a month for your phone right now. You're getting ripped off royally. We could easily have balloons in our atmosphere pushing Wi-Fi signals, making the cell phone system next to obsolete. Seriously. We are all getting ripped off. We need political power like yesterday. No. Under my plan, I'm actually going to help build mini leagues in the NFL and wrestling. I'll work with promoters at all sports venues because what I want to see is a growing number of minor leagues in basketball, football, like they have in baseball, where a lot of young people right now who are very good at sports are very limited to how far they can go and how much money that they can make. There's a whole tier of revenue that we're missing right now. There are people that would gladly go to a minor league football game and pay $10 a seat. And everyone makes money. Seriously. They just want a little entertainment. And these guys can move up through the ranks to get into the major leagues if the system is in place to do that. So yeah, I definitely see sports as a big part of our future economy. Same with pro wrestling. Absolutely. Bear in mind, as time goes on, more and more things will be automated. And robotics will be more prevalent, whether we like it or not. The question is, are we going to be ready for that? Are we going to have a truly representative democracy? Because what we have right now is a sham. completely propagandized, controlled message, talking points emanating from a bunch of paid experts that tell us what we're supposed to think. We don't have a real living political environment in this nation. It's far from that. But I am glad that Trump took second stage on this one. Yes. I'm concerned that Trump wants to be president for all the worst reasons. I also am concerned that Ted Cruz wants to be president for all the worst reasons too. I'm done with the Republicans and the Democrats. That's why I started America's Third Party. But for all intents and purposes, if Trump could get taken down a notch, that would be helpful for the rest of the country. I don't care what it is. It draws a tremendous amount of revenue. They make a lot of money in that venue. I don't want to shut down profit centers in this nation. If sports is what you guys want to watch, I'm all for it. Seriously. I don't have a problem with that. I don't watch a lot of sports anymore because I used to when I was a younger man, when my father was around. But I don't have a live cable TV section. We don't even have cable hookup here where we live. We run our entertainment is Netflix and Amazon Prime. That's what we watch. We're not really going for the daily news and the daily pill of advertising and propaganda they give us. But I still understand the need for a growing service sector and a growing profit center for America. I'm all about building up the backbone of our economy and opening up free market, reducing regulations on small businesses. But we're not going to get a real regrowth of our economy until we get the Fed out of our economy. Because what they're doing is they're like an old ball and chain sitting around our neck. Let me show you the most recent Federal Reserve Chairman woman, Janet Yellen's speech, which shows you how completely disconnected they are from any economic recovery. They're at 0%, and now they're starting to talk about negative interest rates, which is what Japan just did. They offered negative interest rates to various banks, which has helped slightly, but it's a short-term solution. That means that the banks give out money and then pay people to take their money, which is insane. It's the reverse of capitalism.
Will return, and the influence of lower energy prices and inflation below our goal.
She's having an embolism or something. We don't know. Earth to Janet. Yeah, that was her a few weeks ago, or actually probably a couple months ago now. But yeah, she's completely devoid of reality, it seems. They put her there because she's like a non-entity. They just want whoever's there to deliver a message. They don't care who it is or what. They don't even care if she's got chronic brain syndrome and she can't speak. I mean, it's a joke. This whole thing is a ridiculous joke. A Federal Reserve that can't gain any traction because they've already borrowed so much money that they can't even do their job. And most of all, we can get money back from when we retire the charter of the... I want Clinton to reveal her emails. Yeah. Clinton emails. Yeah, there you go. When we retire their charter at the Federal Reserve, and ironically, we'll end the warring activity at the same time around the world, because remember, the Federal Reserve is the arm of the IMF and the World Bank here in America. They're a private corporation. I don't know if she had a stroke or what, but she had a real problem in that speech. The fact of the matter is, these people who are basically out of solutions, they can't lower the prime any lower, are coming up with these ridiculous ideas about offering banks money to take their money, which is absurd. Why would we do that? Do you see the new X-ray gun the LA police have been given? I have not. I'm not sure if I can click that link. There it is. Okay. I'll take a look at that X-ray gun. So yeah, there's a lot of reasons why we need to end the Fed. Not starting wars around the world would be a good move. You know, literally telling Putin that we're not going to continue our involvement in Syria and Ukraine. That would be a big step in the right direction.
Ready? Go.
Go again.
Whoa. All right, so yeah. All right, I've seen enough. Thank you for that very disturbing truth about microwave guns in our jail system. You recognize the chief? Yeah, LA County Sheriff. I'm not real keen on microwave technology or scalar weapons. I don't really think that they should be rolled out as an alternative to rubber bullets or stun guns. I'm a little concerned about the dangers of these things. Okay, play your Ted Cruz family outtake video. Okay, that's coming up right now, folks. I'm now breaking off of the regular show, which is the YouTube recorded broadcast. We're going to finalize this section of the show, and tonight we'll be playing you a variety of videos all the way to 2 in the morning. If you want to hang out and talk politics, feel free to come on in the room. I'll be in and out. Yep. Giving you up-to-the-date information is what we do on a nightly basis. What do you have there, Hooded Menace? I think the real question that's been circulated is, did Hillary Clinton's emails reveal the location of the ambassador killed in the Benghazi attack? That alone would involve her as being complicit in the death of Chris Stevens. That story should still keep moving forward, and I think Hillary is going to be facing the music on this eventually, whether she likes it or not. This is a public document on IAEA you sent me. It's taking forever to load. I'm going to instead copy the link and look at it later. Thank you. Be in and out all night. Okay, yeah, I'll be in and out all night. Yeah, I come in. I don't need a psychiatrist. That's for people who have mental problems, dude. I don't have any mental problems. Don't use that excuse. If you don't believe everything I say or you disagree with me, you're claiming I have mental problems. That's the same maneuver that people use to discredit people that discuss real issues, like weather modification that's really going on. I'll be playing you a video later about a woman who worked in the chemtrail industry that was accused of being mentally ill. Seriously, just to discredit her. And she's actually the one who's asking, what's that stuff being sprayed in the sky? Yeah, I guess I will be facing Hillary's, I don't know about her ass, but for Hillary, definitely in November. As soon as I did pretty well in Iowa. I won my caucus. I want to thank all of my supporters for getting behind us. And caucuses are pretty easy. They're not that difficult. We placed very well. I placed top 2 in my caucus. So Sarah and I voted for each other as president and vice president, and we are in the race for the general election. You just have to write my name in. I have a lot of supporters here. You have no idea. There's a tremendous amount, growing group of people out there that support what we're doing. I'm not your friend, but I'll show you my tie here. It's the look of the future. Doom and gloom. Conspiracy Monday has doom and gloom as our theme. Yeah. I think the best thing for everyone to do is not take out polls for everybody and ignore what that person just said, folks. Your couch? Wow, you got a nice couch. You're not a friend, believe me. We've got total support here. We have a lot of people who don't realize this, but I'm being stalked by a guy who's a Nazi, who has been, I don't know how to describe this, but he is the biggest threat to our room on a daily basis. He lives in here and acts like he has something to say. Lennox user, people are collecting signatures in New Jersey right now. We've got a possibility of getting on the ballot in Pennsylvania. I've got a packet being sent to me. I did not see your question, Dupster. Hang on. I wanted to remind Dupster that I just contacted the Pennsylvania Department of Elections, and they're sending me a packet for information on how to get me on the ballot there. So, yeah, I missed your question. I don't see it there. Oh, there it is. You're spending 158 at Monty? You call the PC police, politically correct police? It is bullying. Yeah, maybe if you want to repeat your question, Dupster, I can't find it. Thank you, normies, for supporting me. Yeah, so we've got a lot of people who are... Yeah, I'm pretty safe right now, Time Pilot. We profiled the guy. He's not on the West Coast, luckily. We're fairly sure he's not stalking me locally. I don't want to get in the ballot in California. It's a communist state. I don't care. I could lose California if need be. But you can always write me in California. Well, we don't really have a complete bio on the guy. We have his face, an outline of his face, and once I get facial recognition capabilities, if and when I get that capability, or law enforcement gets that capability, I'm sure that they can find out who he is. He's got a concerted libel suit coming against him. He's built a website constructed all about hating on me and threatening my family. And he's breaching all kinds of laws left and right. He's going to be serving some serious time eventually. Nothing's happened. Ted Cruz apparently has won the Republican caucus. I don't know if Hillary took it over Bernie yet. It's a real close race, 49-51 either way. Yes, legalizing marijuana will be my first and most important political move as president. Outlining a plan to get a 15% tax, federal tax on it, to supersede state taxes will be the next step. But initially, it'll be just to outright legalize it across the country so that anybody can start growing it legally once I do that. And right now, it's still illegal to grow it in certain states, unless, of course, you have a permit. And then you have to make sure you have that permit with that state and they have a good plan. But it's important to know that legalization of marijuana is a priority that you can't just ignore, period. It's growing. The reality of legalization has become evident in states like Oregon, Washington, and Colorado. But even in Washington, they're screwing it up. They don't even have a plan to charge a fair amount, so they're missing out on a lot of opportunity to make more money in Washington. Seriously, dude, you're being tracked. I'm not doing it, but a third-party organization outside of here is tracking your IP. We're looking at you as a possible link to this Nazi. No, I'm not bizarre and I'm not fringe, no. Rolling Stone's looking at another libel possibility. I may be launching a libel suit against the Rolling Stone magazine. I'm not sure if that's going to happen. Good. There's over 4,000 people over there. Cool. Well, I'm heading over there right now. I'm going over to the news tech section, and they can watch my show over there. You can bob back and forth between the news views room and lots of interesting stories related to conspiracies, things you won't find on the regular mainstream media. That's not even, believe me, getting swatted and making it in the news is not being in the mainstream media. I never got any representation on any of the issues that I talk about nightly. Did Cairo say that? I'm a fascist shill? Wow. Because I'm the last person you'd ever want to call a shill or a fascist. If anything, I'm an egalitarian populist. Now, a centrist, really, is what I am, a centrist. All right, so here is the outtakes from Normie, Ted Cruz. All right, everyone, thank you so much for coming into our recorded broadcast and watching it. I will be signing off for that period of time and continuing the show, the Dave's Video Emporium, all the way to the top of the 2 o'clock hour. Yeah, 2 a.m. Amazing, isn't it? Yeah, I can't believe I stay up that late, but I just am so amped up, and we talk in the show with various people, chat, that it's kind of fun. I actually enjoy it. All right, take care.